Hey, Chip. Hey, Joachim. And Tom. A wee bit later, my pal was off dropping off a guitar to get fixed. Just about the door. Just about the door. It's okay. We've still got 8 minutes. Standing at the back door talking to him for 4 minutes. We're back. It's like Chaos and Prince Charles crowning. Oh, has that not happened? I suppose I would have known about it. Just avoided it. April is here and it's still daylight outside, which is nice. Oh, the bass doesn't really work on live streams, so I'll just play it quietly. Hey, Stephen! Alexander! Yes, Brian, it is a dinky wee bass. I'm trying to find another one of these. If you ever see one of these, just buy it. It's an Encore, right? And it's got no right to be as good as it is. I did change the bridge. Is that the old bridge sitting there? Yes. There's the old bridge. It's only got 2 saddles on it, and I just had one, so I put a 4-saddle bridge on it. Apart from that, done nothing apart from clean it. I looked it out the other day because I was meant to be going out my pal's van. I thought I'll take the wee red bass, so I cleaned it up and stuff, and it's like I forgot how good it was. Why is it so good? It's a small body, it's a 30-inch scale, so it's the same as like an EBO, but the neck, I think I've nailed it. The neck feels like a P-bass neck. It's the same dimensions here, so it doesn't feel small. It's just got a small body. But it's awful good. Another Aria Pro. That's 6 in the last 8 months. No, you still got another 2 to go. Yeah. Which model was it you got? Aria. They're awful good. The thing is, you could have bought one Gibson, and every one of them's better. Yeah, Stuart. Hey, Scott. Hey, Jennifer. Try and find one of these. I was looking them up. There's a couple on eBay just now. One of them's 50 quid, but it's pure mash looking, and the other one's 50 quid a starting bid, and it's pure. It's got one of the tuners missing, stuff like that. This is the sort of thing you get a chance of finding. These were an Argos job. You get a chance of finding one of these for 20 quid with a string missing, sort of thing. Just find them. Hey, Andy. An Aria Pro SB1000. That's not. You're not going to get that for the fifth of the price of a Gibson. They're expensive. Hey, Kit Kats. A Night Warrior. Sorry. The name of it. I mean, to be honest, I kind of want a Night Warrior. I know what it looks like now, though. But if I didn't know what it looked like, I still want one. It's an RS shaped in it. That'd be nice. Sell you a Blade Runner if you want to go with it. I'm going to sell it. I can't go on with the Caller bridge. Wait 2 minutes. Aria Pro GRS Wildcat. I can't remember. Is the Wildcat still the Japanese one? I can't remember. The Cat, I think, is the sort of budget Korean one. I'm not sure about the Wildcat. Round about the same time, but the sort of higher. Once you got above a certain price, they were still Japanese. About 1985, 1986, something like that. I think it was we're talking about. Good guitars. I don't really like the shape of them. I had one called a Mega Metal, which was basically the same one, same as a Night Warrior, but in a slightly different colour. And it had a blade pickup in it and a Floyd Rose. There's something about the shape. It's kind of like a Strat, but not quite. I don't know. Maybe actually not entirely unlike that bass. Kind of that sort of shape. Is this a sober sound? Currently, it's a sober sound. There's a bottle of Bucky sitting there. So no, it's not going to be a sober one. Do I tan this? I'm going to have that kind of Red Bull. We'll just have it sitting there. In fact, I might actually be able to do. The camera seems to have moved. Can I do the timer? So if I put the Bucky there, it's a timer. You can see how much there is left in the stream. So far, there's a full steam ahead. Yeah. Oh. Try my Jackson to my amp, and then try the Ibanez. The Ibanez is quite a bit louder than the Jackson. And the pickup's just closer to the strings. It can make such a huge difference to a guitar, but some guitars are just louder. Number 7, lucky number 7. I maybe have a couple of wee drinks of that just as I'm starting out. There you go. Yeah, the thing is, you'd have to pay a bit of money for one now. I bet you if you sold it 30 years ago, you sold it for like 70 quid or something like that. And it's like, these things did used to cost that. There was a point, and even I sort of remember, I think probably at the cheapest ebb of these things, you could pick up West Tones and stuff for under 100 quid. I know that you could have, occasionally you'd find one, for like under 50 quid, but it would have bits missing. You're not going to get one that works. 50 quid, there you go. Yeah. But the Ibanez, actually, Paul Scott's just got a new Ibanez. In fact, he's on just now. An S series one. I actually quite like it. It was an Ibanez I kind of almost bought. It was on the T-Gun sent me yesterday, the day before. It was like the pink one that he had a shot of his. I really liked it. It's like pink glitter, but there was a green glitter version as well, and it was only 160 quid on Gumtree, and it was only in Cumbernauld, 10 minutes away. It's like, oh, it's awfully tempting, but I don't need another Archie. God, I died drinking a number 7. Did you kill him for it, or was it? Oh. Yeah, into PRSs. Well, they're a bit cheap, a bit more expensive. The PRSs, and again, I've still never played. I've never played an actual PRS, so I'm sure they're good. It's just that I don't think it's possible for a guitar to be worth $3,000. Is the way I look at it, or whatever it is. A PRS costs, it probably don't cost as much after the basic ones, and I think they go up to 20 or something for the pure mad ones that are made out of super endangered species. And Les Pauls. Oh, don't like Les Pauls. Again, money thing. Maybe if I had tons of money. I don't think so though. What about Marshall getting sold? Marshall been sold, has it? Did they not have some really bad business decisions a couple of years ago? Marshall, did they not? They went through a stage of, they kind of expanded their not guitar stuff range. So you could get like Marshall. I know you get like a DAB radio that looked like an amp, and I don't know if the fridges were part of it, but it was like they put an awful lot into merchandise. I'm pretty sure you can get Marshall watches, or is it Gibson I'm thinking of that did that? I think Gibson might have done that as well. That's the whole idea about trying to expand, and it's like, if you're making Marshalls, you should be making JCM 800s, basically, just that and other stuff, but people are still going to want a Marshall stack. That's the thing. But I think they've been struggling with the Milton Keynes thing, but they're not. I seem to remember when I bought mine, they were down a 2-day week or a 3-day week at one point. They weren't doing well. I think the idea is like just making stuff in England's just kind of not worth it. You have to pay wages too much, I think, basically. Or you have to hire people on minimum wage who don't know what they're doing. Otherwise, because once they do know what they're doing, they're worth more money. I think it's how that works. Oh, your SX Les Paul. SX seem to be really good, I think. From the few that I've played, they have been great. Very, very much like the Jim Deacons, similar, possibly even the same factory, same designer, same quality spec sheet or something they've been given. They just seem to be a bit nicer than your normal stuff. Yeah, Les Paul Studios. Les Paul Studios, they're not as expensive as the standards. Still more expensive than any of these guitars though. And okay, it's a Les Paul, so it sounds more like a Les Paul than any of these do, I suppose. Yeah. Hey Jeff, how's it going? I'm basing it tonight. If anyone's got one of these, I'll give you 20 quid for it. All thing it has to have is a neck that isn't bent and a body, and it's like everything else is upgradable. I'm actually wanting to play a gig with this with the Sabbath band, but the guitarist I'm always turning up with stupid guitars, and I had to comment. I have to comment on this one. It's like all the other guitars, yeah, fine. You can't come in with an encore. So I played it; it sounded great. But you can't. He described it as it's the sort of bass you're around at someone's house having a few beers, and they say, "I'm just going to throw this bass out. Do you want it?" And you just don't bother because you can't be arsed carrying it up the road. No. You're giving up on the bass. Bass is so much fun. Let's see if you get a quick track. You just play anything. Just a thing. The strawberries coming in because I wish this was a different bass. I wish this had been like that Fernandez, or it was like the Grant or something. Just it was like a Japanese one, which looks better. It's a cheapie, but it's just like all the bits that are on it are fine. It's like not really doing anything about it. In a band with guitar snobs, so there's only one guitarist in the band, and to be honest, no, he's never. Apart from the one time I turned up with this, because I did went through a stage at the start, turning up with a new bass every week and trying to find one that they wouldn't accept as being acceptable for Sabbath, and they never really said anything. A couple of pointy ones, and I did a gig with my ZZB bass, and he was happy. It was okay for I checked with him. So he's playing a Gibson. He's got like a £10,000 amp and all that. And I'm playing a £30 amp. I'm using this bass, a £10 bass. You know what I mean? Kind of ridiculous. Too hard to switch between 6-string and bass. I know. I do sort of. I don't. That's never affected me because I've always played both. I think I played guitar for 6 months before I ever played a bass, but I've always had the two. I always felt that with the bass. Now I can do it. But now I've got a click track. I can just play the bass all night on my own, no problem. But when you're learning the bass, it doesn't have that same. You learn a couple of songs and you can play a song, a couple of chords and you can play a song type thing. You don't really get that with bass because you've got to be confident enough and good enough to actually just play on one note. When you're learning, it's quite difficult. So I played guitar in the house and played bass when I was learning stuff to play in the band and played the bass in the band. So it's like now I can easily just lose myself for a whole evening just playing the bass with nothing. A click track be nice, but you end up writing things and working out stuff and all that. Try to play Bee Gees songs. If you're fitting that's a good question, Irish Stew. If you're fitting a different neck, do you make the neck fit the neck pocket or make the neck pocket fit the neck? It would depend entirely on what it is I'm doing. If it was an expensive neck, like I've got a Japanese Fender Strat neck, which it doesn't have a body. It's on a square body just now. If I was to put that on something and the neck was too big and the body was one I'd made or a cheap body, I would try not to touch the Japanese Fender neck so I could still sell it as complete. But on the other side, if you've got a Japanese Fender Strat body and an Encore neck that doesn't fit, I would probably alter the neck on whatever the cheapest part of it is. Really, it depends what you get away with as well, how easy it is to hide. Because it's not that you're not really going to be able to hide it on the neck, whereas in the body you are, but you might have to paint it. Quite a lot of things. I don't know. Depends what it is you're trying to stick on. Make sure you get the scale. Make sure that the nut to bridge length is right though. Obviously something like this, actually it's just a P-bass bridge, it's top loaded, so moving it a couple inches forward, not really going to be an issue, but there's got to be the distance between the nut and the 12th fret has to be exactly the same as the distance between the 12th fret and the bridge saddle, plus a wee bit of wiggle room, but that's basically it. As long as you're doing that, it should work out all right. Easier to make neck fit the body. Again, it depends on what it is you're trying to do with it. I've got a tendency to try not to do anything irreversible. So if the neck was worth a lot of money, and let's be honest, I think necks seem to be a lot of money. Like even like, you know, I saw a Squire Classic Vibe Telecaster neck the other day on Facebook Marketplace for 250 quid just for the neck. And it's up here. So I mean, that's what I'm also thinking of, just selling that Japanese Fender neck. Because if a Squire Classic Vibe neck's worth 250 quid, what's a Japanese one worth? And you suddenly start thinking why people sell whole guitars when you can sell the bits off separately and get more money. I mean, that's always an option. It kind of works with all. I mean, even something like this, I would probably get 50 quid for this, whereas I would probably get 50 quid for the neck. And then obviously the pickups must be, I don't know, a tenner, tuners, tenner, bridge, 5. You know, it does add up. I don't like putting a good, I would never chop this up. I actually bought this thinking I was going to make a double neck out of it because I like the 30-inch scale Fender type neck like that. And then as soon as I put strings on it, I was like, this is wonderful. It's fantastic. It could be one of my favourite basses, and it's like obviously the cheapest one. You don't get much cheaper than a tenner. Really free, I suppose. A telly bass at this time, but I do actually have a telly bass. I've got a 6-string one that I made. Hey, Adam's Apple, wearing back from Reverb. I don't know. I think a lot of people use Reverb for the same thing that I did with most of these guitars. I buy the guitar, or I'm bidding on it on eBay or something, and you look up Reverb to see what people try and get away with. You know, it's like, you know, sometimes buying something like the Vulcan. It's like whatever that was. It's up here looking up here. Oh, but I managed to get it for the price I wanted. Oh, here we go. It's up here. I wonder what's it worth? I'll look on Reverb and look at the most expensive one. Oh, there's someone selling it for 1,500 quid. Oh. But I don't know whether a lot of these things actually sell or not. AX Paps, evening. We're all good. I'm good anyway. And then everyone else can. Close the curtain. I do have another guitar sitting there. Guess what it is from that? I'm going to play in a minute. It's red. But then I thought, I've looked out the red bass the other night, so I've been playing it because it's awful good. I don't know. I'm thinking of changing the pickup. I've got a Washburn, like smooth covered pickup, you know, like an EMG looking one, which would mean I could probably get it up a bit. I could get the pickup closer to the strings without the worry of the string hitting the pull pieces and doing that. If it's got a plastic cover, it'll do this, which isn't as bad as that. Just because if I get too heavy with it, because if I tend to try and bend the strings and hit this really hard, because it just feels like that's what you want to do. Any guitars made in Japan are going for a lot now. Hope so. I'm going to sell a rake of them. Reverb is a bit hit and miss. Need to ask a lot of questions before you buy. Yeah, I suppose not if they've got enough things on. They're not giving you enough information. I was just talking to my pal who was just away 10 minutes ago. Or was it 18 minutes? So he was away 20 minutes ago. But it's difficult to. He's trying to sell some acoustics, but he's kind of in the same situation as me. He likes old Japanese guitars, but they're acoustics. So he's got 10 or something like that. And he's going like that, and he's trying to sell them. And it's like, what do you try and sell them for? Because obviously he did what I did. Look for ones no one's ever heard of. Went and tried them, bought them. End up with a guitar that should be, I mean, something like that. The Tempest, that should be like a £300 or £400 guitar. I'm not going to get £300 or £400 for it. So if I'm going to sell it, I'm selling it for, okay, technically what it's worth, but it's miles better than anything else you could get for £300. You know, it's like, you don't get a Strat like that for £300 unless you murdered someone or it's stolen. Really. Freeze. Hey, Dirty Blue Jean. I tried the 4-cable method for connecting to my Heart 6-watt valve. It sounds totally amazing. Oh, the 4-cable method, is that using the effects loop somewhere? I don't really know much about that. I tried using the effects loop in the orange to put the reverb pedal in and it didn't work. But I may have put it in and out the wrong way around, or maybe the power supply didn't work or something, or maybe the effects loop doesn't work on that amp. I don't really use any effects, so I do understand that if you obviously having reverb on, having it in the power amp stage is better because that's where it is in a normal amp. You know, it's not the reverb doesn't come after the preamp; it comes between the preamp and the power amp, which is where your effects loop sits. Oh, hey, Big Ped, how's it going? Oh, it's a good idea to plug up. I don't know. Do you plug a Boss multi effects pedal into a 60-watt valve amp. Why not? Why not? I suppose. Oh. Hey man, any experience with Earth guitars? Johnny Robson on YouTube just got, looks and sounds like a quality instrument. I heard the name because it's not Earth and it's not Heart. There's two H's missing from it. That'd be Hearth for going with your fireplace. I'm sorry, I don't know anything about them. It's hard to tell with the YouTube things though, because you don't know where they got the guitar. I mean, a lot of people do, you know, confess where they came from. I was given this guitar by Harley Benton or whatever. It's like, so the one that they get is probably not the one you would buy if you bought it yourself for £99 or whatever it is from Thoman. Hey, Mr. White. Couldn't find any Bucky. Beer will have to do. You can get Bucky on Amazon, apparently, or used to be able to get Bucky on Amazon. I'm sure you'll be able to survive. There must be a way of making it, just putting coffee into red wine, though. But beer will be all right. Good point, X-Pap. So if you're using 4 cables, that must be a stereo. How would your amp have a stereo? You'd have to have a stereo amp. You're quite right. I don't actually know what the 4-cable method is. I don't know what it is. That might need to be explained. I've heard of it, and I know it's a way of doing something. That would be as opposed to a 2-cable method. Or does the 4-cable method, you've got like the ones that go into the front of the amp as one. I think I'm working it out just by talking about it. So you've got like your distortion-y stuff in your pedal. So you've got a cable going from your bass, in this case, into your effects pedal, then one going into the input of the amp. And then you've got the reverby modulation-y stuff, and then coming from the effects loop of the pedal going into the effects loop of the amp. So in effect, what it's doing is it's putting your distortions and stuff before the amp, and then putting your modulations in the middle of the amp. That's what I think it is. Am I right? Last time Pub was trying to sell me her bass in the selling point. It's only been played twice. Non-guitar, I know. Adam's Apple, who's your mate? His name's Ronnie. McNiven? Niven? He's not watching just now. He's not just now because I know he was over. He's going over to his mum's for dinner. That was why he pops in to see me annoyingly at 7:30 when it's up here. It's 7:30, yeah, totally. And I like to talk, and he likes to talk, and the funny guy. But it's just a bit harder when it's up here. I'm kind of looking at the clocks like up here. I still got 15 minutes since I'm not going to sit down. I'm not going to sit down because I know I've got to be away like up here. Cool. So we basically two of us stood here for half an hour to talk to each other. Yeah. But his acoustics are, was he into Suzuki's, Ibanez, kind of Suzuki type things, and other makes I can't even remember. Hofner's. They're all mad looking and they all look really cool. Hey Daniel, how's it going? Mr. Whitesnake's your favourite Yank? That sounds like maybe my favourite Yank as well. I'm trying to think of Americans I like. I don't know. I don't really know any Americans, so that I kind of, you and Pontiac, you can have 50-50, the two of you, the people I know are definitely American, although a lot of you lot probably are, just that you're not very obviously American. Listen, you've not told me you're American. Hey, we're watching Beard versus Food. What are we talking about? We were talking about, I can't remember. This wee Encore bass, if you ever see one of these in a charity shop or anything like that, it's the one you used to get in Argos. You see the guitar quite a lot. In fact, Andy Neon Tetrahedron's got the guitar, which I quite fancy getting off him. Don't want to give him any money for it. I'm hoping that he feels a bit guilty about the fact that he's bought a guitar off me and he was meant to come over and pick it up by now and he hasn't. They'll go, I'm here to pick up the guitar. Here, I brought you this Encore. You can just have that. Quite nice. It's a multi effects floor unit, which is a stereo out. All right, so that's the 4-cable method, is running it in stereo. How's it 4 cables then? I don't know, genuinely. I don't do very much faffing about with pedals. I do have a line of them set up, but I don't tend to use them. But yeah, no, the stereo thing, if you've got a stereo amp or if you run through 2 amps, it is amazing having like chorus or any, was it one app, the stereo pedal I've got is a phaser, flanger. And it's like just having it turned on so it just becomes slightly stereo. The thing is, I can kind of do that. It's not proper stereo, but just leaving on. I've got an ABY pedal there plugged into both of them. So even though it's a mono signal, but it's going into 2 amps, and it does sound. You can, when you turn the tone up, you can hear it coming out the guitar amp more. And then when you turn the tone down, it doesn't seem to come out the guitar amp. It mostly comes out the bass amp. Obviously, you start talking about. You don't stomp on the tuner with its dodgy input, which I've still not replaced or fixed. I can put rat pedal on, but not lose the bass because the bass is still on. And again, if you turn the tone down, it doesn't go to the guitar amp the same way. It just seems to be distortion. You probably can't hear that, but it sounds thunderously amazing. The thing is, because it's a short scale in regular tuning, you can bend. It's just an awfully good bass. Guitar into amp, and the pedal uses the send return loop on the amp head to bypass the preamp on the main input. Send return is a better blend because the preamp didn't current it. Got you. Makes sense. Where do you make sales guitars? I think he just tries to sell them on Facebook Marketplace, to be honest. I'll get him to put a link. I'm going to be selling a big rake of guitars, so I'm going to try and set up a Facebook Marketplace page, I think, just for my own guitars to sell, and a few of my pals, if it's like, but have like it would have like a quality standard on it, so there wouldn't be, you're not going to find, like a Squire Strat for 40 quid on it, because a Squire Strat for 40 quid's fucked. It's possible you get one that isn't, but the reason it's 40 quid is because there's bits missing or it's knackered. So all the ones we would sell would be at not at a premium, but more a realistic price to what they are, because they're 100% working, 100% done up, you know what I mean? And any dents or stuff would be catalogued. I quite like that idea. Maybe you could put that open to Ronnie as well. I know Scott's wanting to do that as well. It's just that thing about trying to sell, it's just say a Squire Affinity Strat. If I try to sell a Squire Affinity Strat, I'm not, you're going to find cheaper ones on Gumtree and eBay, but you're not going to find one that plays like the one that I've done. So, I mean, that's got to be worth a lot. I mean, it's £100 for a setup or repair. It's like £100 cheaper than it should be, kind of thing, which is kind of, it's a difficult one. It's like something like this as well. I mean, this bass, I mean, I wouldn't say, you don't want to pay more than about 40 or 50 quid for one of these. It's possible, but if it plays like this one, it's £100 bass, easy, like quality wise, but you're never going to sell one of these for 100 quid, because people are going to go, oh, it's one you used to get in Argos. But I've done the work on it. The frets are all brilliant. The actual bare bones of this are really good. There's nothing. Obviously I'd have thought of changing the pickup, but I kind of didn't want to, because then it's not all original. But even though I've changed the bridge, I didn't buy a bridge for it. It's just when I was changing the strings, the idea of having, 2 intonation points, like a Mustang. It's not as good as what I've just got lying there anyway. I mean, it's not like I'm not putting fucking badass bridge around that. It's just a standard P bass. Oh, no, so Jennifer's on to finding wee red basses. I think as far as I'm aware, it only came in red and black. And it's like the way to tell what it is it's got quite a small body. It doesn't have a scratch plate, and it's got this sort of strange layout of 2 knobs, kind of like a Telecaster control plate. I did have to change the knobs as well, because it had the really cool knobs. See the ones like these, actually, which are actually expensive. These are my favorite knobs. The ones that are kind of notched. Exactly, they've got like notches around the ends, like Les Paul ones. They're the best knobs. You get them in a lot of old 80s Japanese guitars. The problem with this bass was, which it did actually have those knobs, and to be honest, I saw them in the advert, and I was looking at it, and it was like, it was a tenner. It was very dirty, and I was looking at it going like that, Pierre. Those knobs are worth a tenner. I'll buy it sight unseen. So I did. So it was a tenner plus a drive to Stirling. Also, it means I've been calling this my tenor bass, like implying that it's pronounced it's spelled Tenor. Oh, a tenor bass. What's a tenor bass? Because it sounds like it could be a tenor bass, but no, it's a tenor, Teners, and it costs £10. Hey, Pontiac! True that short scale basses are easy to bend. They are, yes, but short scale basses aren't always good. And it's like, put it straight up. Put this straight up. I'm sorry if anyone's got an Epiphone EBO. The band I quit, the bass player of an Epiphone EBO, they're fucking rubbish. This is twice as good as an Epiphone EBO. Straight up, it's just twice as good. It's everything about it's better. It doesn't look like an SG bass, which, okay, it looks better. That's it. Everything else this does better. It sounds better, plays better, feels. Everything else is just in a different league. A few Joyo pedals were meant to be amp in a box type thing. So I used to the FX loop to change the character of the amp. Right, okay, so you're bypassing the preamp. Right, cool. The Joyo pedals are, I've got one there actually. No, that was Joyo. In fact, they both are. They're both kind of similar, which I actually got them off my pal last week and I forgot to put them in. For my not as distorted as a rat sound, this is the US Dream, which is the Joyous Dream because it's Joyo US Dream, see, which is meant to be a Sir Riot clone. Basically, it's a sort of just a distortion pedal, and another one I got, which is also it's a Joyo British sound. But these got a lot of these. This is your amp in a box pedal, which makes it sound British sound, makes it sound like a Marshall. I think there's an American sound which makes it sound like a Fender or something, and there's also an AC tone, something like that. Basically, the same box in a different color with the same knobs, but it's like a Vox type circuit. I don't know enough about these things to get into it. This Stratocaster sold a lot of stuff this week, so the guitar fund is now healthy. Buy some guitars off me. What are you after? I might have one. I don't need to emulate a valve amp and cab, going into a valve amp and cab. This is true. Yes. The thing is, it's like, it does make a difference. It's like, see, I've got a couple of pedals right now. The Marshall Stack in a Box pedal, which is quite a good distortion pedal, but it's called Stack in a Box. So what it's meant to do is make your H&H 100-watt 2x12 combo sound a bit like a valve amp. Is what it's meant to do. Whereas I've got it plugged into the Orange, which is a valve amp. So it acts like a distortion pedal, and it's quite reasonable. But when you plug it into the solid state, it's like, oh, it really does something. It does make it sound like a valve amp, whereas that one already did. So it's just a distortion pedal on that. It does more. It really works well with that circuit. It's kind of like designed to go into from the era it's from, late 80s. Obviously, the idea of having valve amps was a great one, but you're back. Most amps are your H&H's and that's your proper pub gigging amps were 50, 100-watt 1x12 cabinet solid state. Because by that point you did get pedals, and something like that Marshall Stack in a Box would make it sound like a Marshall Stack. Sort of. Definitely, you can understand why they're saying that. YouTube suggested a vid on a channel by Scott Riddell. Turned out to be a Yank talking ahat. I don't know what ahat is, but I mean, right. Scott Riddell is Scott's name. I think that's what his name comes up as on this. We watched a video guitar about the guitar emporiums in Denmark Street in London. What an iconic street has anyone been? Yes, I've been. I don't remember. Did I take a video? Why didn't I take a video? Maybe I didn't have my GoPro with me. I went down to see Baby Metal last year, the year before. A few years ago, maybe even. In fact, 2018 it was. No, it wasn't. When was that? February 2020. It was 2019. I went down to London. When did COVID? COVID was before that. before COVID, because it wasn't a restricted thing. Yeah, and I went to Denmark Street. I bought 2 picks. Yeah, it was all right. It was a bizarre one. There wasn't really a guitar superstore there. You know, you're used to when everyone, I think they're called Guitar Center in America. Here we're called Guitar. You're like a big chain that you go in and they've got maybe not the entire Gibson range, but a good fair whack of it. You know what I mean? It's not a sort of shop where you go in and they've got a Les Paul. You know, Guitar's going to have half a dozen of the standards, half a dozen studios on different colours on the wall and stuff like that. There's no guitar shops like that. They're all too small. But they're quite good. And to be honest, the one I bought the picks in wasn't that expensive. It wasn't. But it was selling kind of weird stuff. Was it selling Burns stuff? And you're kind of more likely almost to see this is the sort of place you would sell these sort of things. You'd obviously be paying a bit more for them, but I mean, they're trying to sell you something interesting rather than the one you can just buy off the internet. But it's an interesting place. I was absolutely minced when I was there. I had a great idea of getting the Megabus, which is a pure shit bus. It cost a tenner return to go to London and back. How could it be bad? And I thought, I'm going to get the one at night at 11 o'clock at night and I'll just sleep in the bus on the way down. Didn't sleep one. It was just like absolute brain torture all the way down on a pure stuffed bus. Hot, really stinking, just sitting there like that. But end all the way down. And I arrived in London at 6 o'clock in the morning, having had no sleep. And then by the time we got to Denmark Street after I met up with my pal, it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'd been up since 9 o'clock the day before. I was kind of walking about like a mad daze. I remember getting a kebab after it and actually waking me up. It was like just when you break your body down to physical components and it's like pure food, energy. Food will give me energy, and it did for a short amount of time until I got a bottle of Bucky later on. And then after that, it was fucked. Not electrics, but tuners, fretboards, stain and oil, and different pickup covers. I missed the start of that. Expats, what were you saying? I have a few joy pedals. No, I don't know what you're talking about there with the not electrics. Sex Pistols lived and rehearsed in Denmark Street, conveniently located next to the knocking shops. Is it next to the knocking shops? I'm too naive, don't believe these things exist. I assume they probably do. It's on the edge of Soho. Is it really? Is it near Soho? Didn't know that. Did enjoy walking around and looking at the guitar shop, so it was quite mad. It was an interesting experience. You can kind of obviously they're playing very much on the classic vibe that it's got, and it works. It's good fun. It wasn't pure stupid expensive, and I can understand why someone would go there. And if you're going to buy a Gibson Les Paul Standard, for example, and that in there you get to go in and play it, and okay, it might be 50 quid or 100 quid more, but where did you buy that? Denmark Street in London. That's worth something. So where'd you buy that? Online. All right. Okay. So nothing special? No, this is a Denmark Street one. So we kind of play on that. Which is fine. Art is how New Englanders pronounce art. Ah. Okay, talking about art. Yeah. Could be Scott, actually. He's over at his pal Jennifer's house, and she's an artist. That's really fucking good. Oh. But any aren't coloured by a preamp, sound a lot clearer and kind of extra. Yes, no, it makes sense. I know, I understand the concept. I understand mechanically, electrically how that works. But I mean, as you start looking at, obviously, you're meant to put the phaser. Even go on a smaller way, it's like obviously Van Halen used a phaser. Eddie Van Halen used a phaser pedal a lot, and you want to put the phaser pedal after all your distortions, obviously, so that it's a distorted signal that goes into the phaser. But you think about Van Halen was using like a 50-watt Marshall. I keep pointing at that because that's kind of what it is. So the distortion, the phaser was definitely before the distortion because the distortion was in the amp, which gives you a different sound. He didn't have the option. There was no such thing as an effects loop, so he couldn't use it. So I don't think it would be that difficult to put an effects loop in to an old Marshall. But I don't think anyone, just no one had thought of it at that point. Oh, the big stores are soulless. Prefer the small independents for creaking floorboards. Yes, I get that as well. Adam Zappa, I totally get that. Even the point of that, the Jim Deacon shop in Hamilton, I enjoyed going in there because they didn't have the ones that, the ones not slagging off Andertons. I do watch their videos. They're good, but just the ones that everyone else knows about. Oh, have you heard of, and it's what everyone's talking about? It's up here, oh, when the PRS Silver Sky came out, and it's like the entire YouTube was just full of videos of the PRS Silver Sky. It's like, maybe now doing a video on one is a bit interesting, but everyone's done that. It's boring. Next, so what's different? You know, do a video on a West Tone Raider, that kind of thing. You know. Oh, it's the Marshall amp pedal you got. So give it a while. Plugged into returner effects, which is use the pedal as a preamp and logo the power amp section of your amp. Yes, that makes sense. That might even be. I mean, I'm running that stack in a box pedal. The Marshall, when we talk, I've actually got a Marshall Governor, which I think is that. So maybe putting that in an effects loop's the way to go, because then you're just not using the preamp. You're using a Marshall preamp, really, because that's pretty much what it is, with an EQ on it. Yeah. Oh, I had Rotosound stainless steel, medium steel strings. On my 2SI Vantage bass, put them on my P-bass copy, G string too short, tried to find a long scale G impossible, had to buy a new full set. $22 for Rotosound. That's fucked up. It's more than $22 for Rotosound here, and they come from here. You're obviously having to pay import duty and stuff on that. We're not. But I don't get a set of Rotosounds, especially not stainless steel ones, for £20, £22, not dollars. So $22 is 17 quid, 16, something like that. I'm pretty sure we're about £25 for a set of just boring, normal Rotosounds. And they're made, when I say here, they're made in England, but there's no border there. Oh. Denmark Street started sheet music publishers during the Tin Pan Alley days. Yes, I mean, I know that one of the shops was it's in a guitar magazine, in the Orange shop, was it? It might have been round the corner, but they couldn't get dealerships for American guitars at all at the time, because you couldn't get American guitars over here in the late 60s. Or definitely not in the early 60s, but even then, Gibson are apparently a bit bastardy, where they're trying to. The reason you don't get small independent music shops stocking Gibson is because you've got to, you want to be a Gibson dealer, right? You're taking this amount of guitars a year then. You know, there's a minimum number of 500 guitars, 400, something, 100 guitars anyway. It's not, I'd like to be a Gibson dealer. How many guitars do you want? 3. No, you've got to take 100 this year, and you're not allowed to discount them, so you're not allowed to sell them. It becomes difficult. But I have had problems with strings being too short and too long for guitars. More basses, yes. I've got an 8-string bass, which needs, because it's. I suppose it's the full length. It's not too bad. It's the piccolo bass strings, the thin ones. You're full length. It just becomes awkward. It's all to do with. It's normally not too bad with this. Like, see this. You've got that much on the end of the string, right? So the actual length of the string starts there. But if it's through neck, if it's through body, the string, instead of being that much between there and the termination of the string, because it's a top loader, if it's through strung, it's actually that much. So the string needs to be an inch longer if it's going through the body. And the same thing happens up here. I mean, obviously, this is pretty standard fare, but if you've got like a Thunderbird, this tuner isn't here, it's more here. So you've got like an extra inch in length between the nut and the first tuner. So everything becomes long, and it becomes difficult when you get strings often taper at the ends. I don't have a bass that's got tape. Does that get taper strings on it? No, it's got cheap strings. None of these basses have the tapered strings on it. Normally they get tapered when they get to the tuner, and the problem with the tapering thing is I've had basses before where the taperings happening here somewhere. Still works, but your string's this thickness, and then it's thin from here on, so you've got to get one where it doesn't taper, and then if you get one that doesn't taper, like these ones don't, sometimes you can snap the strings, try to bend them round the tuning post because they're really thick. It's confusing. I just buy cheap bastard strings, and bass strings just stay forever old. I think the video of Mousy buying a Strat and throwing it at the back of his limo. I've not seen that, but I mean, I do like I'll slag off Andertons, give you a chance. I don't mind Andertons, they're all right. I like the guy. That's the owner, Lee Anderton. I like him. He's all right. And I quite like Danish Pete as well, who absolutely loves the FGNs, even though he didn't say so when you watch the video, because the FGNs are now mainstream. I had one first. You're not going to find one for 228 quid on eBay anymore, like I did. But the FGNs are phenomenal. And it's just the difference between, actually, I watched a video of, they were playing, was it Squires or something? And yeah, Pete was playing it to make it sound as good as it could, but he wasn't trying any of the really complicated jazz stuff. Whereas on the cheapest one of them, as in that, he was straight in with, let's see what this can do. And it was pure working. Oh, I have a Boss GT6, which is a stereo out, which I sometimes use. Yeah. The Boss GT10 allows you to edit the effects chain and put some effects on the send return loop and others straight in front of the preamp. Yes, I understand. Yes, they're just basically doing it. It's like routing. Jazz was routing. I would route it, but if I was gonna, I wouldn't route out a pickup. I would route out a pickup. That's an interesting one. I don't know if that's an American thing or not. But it's like, but again, it would be like pure, right, I'm going into Glasgow. What route are you taking? You mean what route? So that's a route to go there, but routing, like it's a router that you use to dig out holes in a guitar body. Oh. So my Marshall DSL to a guy on Friday, but his Sir Telly track, man, he can play, tore it up. Well, yeah, I think Sir stuff is good. Well, Sir made the aye. The Sir stuff is good. The Sir stuff's not cheap though, and I don't like Sir's headstock. The Sir's headstock not quite like my Casio. It's kind of, so you've got like a really expensive and unbelievably good looking Strat, and it's got a headstock that shape, and it's like, my main gripe against this is that headstock is not, it's not a pretty one. And I wouldn't mind it on, maybe something like that. Yeah, totally, but not on a Strat. A Strat has to have something that just looks in keeping with the body. I mean, this we're working. Dude, this doesn't. That's not really a Fendery headstock. It's kind of nondescript, but it suits this bass. So that's good headstock, not Fender correct, but good. Oh. Adam's Apple. What do you mean own guitars? Yeah. So what did you make of the Baby Metal album? To be honest, I never got that far through it because there's a big dent in the front of the record. So it's like I put it on, and I was up here coming in with this slow synthesizer intro to the first song. And it was like, and it basically from that, and I was pissed off. And I paid £22, so I paid £27 in total for a single record that didn't come in a fucking sleeve. It came in a stupid plastic thing with a sticker on it, and you're like, it's great. It's not a real album, I think, is maybe the point. It's like it's kind of like a rarities and outtakes. I think it's stuff that's left over from previous albums, but I did listen to it, and there were a couple of good sounding songs, but I was still reeling from the fact that it's got a big scratch in it, and I paid so much. But they're sending me I just got into the customer services, and they just said, "Can you send proof?" I couldn't find the thing to send an attachment of the picture of the dent. So, because any chance you could send proof, like a photo or maybe a wee video on your phone. So I did, and I sent it to him, and it was a pure, yeah, we'll just give you money. Yeah, we'll just give you, we'll send you another one in the post. So once I get that, I'll have two. And then now my problem is, do I sell the one with the scratch on it? Well, that's what I'll do. I'll sell the one with it's got a scratch in the first thing, but it is the limited edition Baby Metal fan club only version. Maybe get a tenner for it, 15 quid, something like that. And it's like, yeah, it's totally fine. But I mean, a lot of people buy the records, the CDs for listening to, and the records for the collection. So maybe that would be enough. Or just keep the one with the scratch in it and try and sell the one that's brand new. So they don't have to bother. If you want the half black, half white vinyl. That's annoying. Too much YouTube. Flanged echo is a different sound to echoed flange. Yes. Mr. Whitestick's not listening. Actually, he's here. Is talking. What did Pap say? Casually, hey, what are you saying, Yoko, about? Oh my fucking god! Really? It's got an F in it, so it's a real thing. I've never actually had time to smoke a fag when Ingrid left. Roddy's away. I'm back to fucking lighter problems again. Got lighters that I've got a spark, and I've got ones that I've got gas. I don't have any that I've got a spark and gas. So, sorry, Jochen was talking about. Said visiting Japan, making the first Squires. These are better than a US made. Quality check by Fender Japan. Early 80s. Check YouTube about it. Yeah, got one. Got the 16th ever Squire. But there's no arguing about it. The problem with See the JV series, which were the first ever actual Fenders made in Japan. They weren't made by the company Fender Japan. The company Fender Japan was set up a couple of years later when they, instead of being Fender, and it said up there, you know, it normally says original contour body or something like that, and a wee circle bit there said Squire series in there. The first JVs, which were, and instead there was basically the first ever reissue guitar. So instead of buying the what that would be about 1981 or something, instead of buying a copy of a 1981 Strat, you were buying a Fender copy of a 1957 Strat. And obviously a 57 Strat is much better than an 81 Strat. I don't think there's really any arguments in there, like an original. So they kind of did that, and then for the first run and the second run, they became Squire was the big writing on them, and they sort of sneaked out over here for a while. But I don't think they were ever officially released, because the problem was people were going into the shop and it was like the Fender USA one was twice the price, and the Japanese one was actually a better guitar, which would happen now if they still made, well, they don't make the Roadster anymore, but they make the Ibanez make the AZ series or something like that, and you can go in and try an AZ series, and they're kind of priced similar to the Fenders. So you go in and try the AZ series, that's the same price as a Mexican Fender, and there's no way that it's not miles better. And that would happen if you tried the one at the price of an American Fender. You know, so the cheapest American Fender would be, I don't know, 1,200 quid or something like that. There'll be an AZ at 1,200 quid, which is just the best guitar you can get. Pure ridiculous. But it's not a Fender Stratocaster. And if you try and sell it in 5 years' time, which one's going to be worth more? The joys of vinyl. There's not really that much vinyl I've bought, but if I'm paying that kind of money, like 20, 30 quid for a record, darn tootin', I don't want it to have a big flipping manufacturing defect on the first song when it goes. I mean, I know I've got plenty of records that I've got in it, but I didn't pay 20 quid for them. I used to always like I've got all the early Beatles and the early Stones albums, they're all on really thick vinyl. So see if it's got scratches in it, they kind of go. Psst. So you can still listen to the song, and something about like Paint It Black or something like that that's got it's fine, but not when it's modern stuff. You know, the original vinyls were made to be played on these fucking dansette things, you know, so it's like they're pure durable as fuck. Also, the Beatles and the Beach Boys had a clause which nobody else had at the time in the 60s for vinyl being a certain quality. It was in their record recording contract thing that the vinyl that they produced had to be above a certain weight or a certain density or whatever it is. So that's why all the old Beatles records are thick, heavy, and can be scratched but still play. Whereas any records from the 70s, you get the ones that are kind of like Rolf Harris's Wobbleboard. Them, they can look all right. It's got the faintest hairline scratch. If you hold it up to the light, you can just see, and you put it on, it's skipping all over the shop. Whereas in the original Beatles ones, especially some of the 60s ones I've got, like the first album stuff, you know, I wasn't going to pay money for it, so I got it for £1. Still fucking plays. It does sound like the C's going on. There's so many scratches, it's just a kind of constant, but still plays. 1970. Oh god, there's just people running through the guitars. I can't do this. I've got too many. I can run through the guitars that I've got hanging up the wall. 76 Takamine Jumbo, but yeah, that's fucking good. A Guild concert series, a Squire Telly, JD Brothers, Thin Line Telly copy, a Madino Hurricane, you've talked about that before, and now a J Tusser JT50. White's now nicotine yellow. Nicotine yellow. I love nicotine yellow. Yeah, no, it's a great thing, but it's like you're being a wee bit sensible. It's like the whole sensible thing about buying like the used stuff that's like maybe slightly on the obscure side. You just buy ones that are good. It's just happened to be where I am, and I ended up going mad for the Japanese ones. But I mean, yeah, totally. There's definitely much to be had for just, you can specialize in anything and be mad into it. Like, so my pal Neil, who's like, I've still got your bass, Neil. He's got lots and lots of Squire Strats, but he knows which Squire Strats are the gems. He's like, I'll just look up a Squire Strat, see it in Gumtree, 50 quid. Like, oh, that'll be a good Bucky caster type thing. But there's a difference between a 2005 one and a 2009 one. I'm not sure exactly where they are, but if you were mad into it, I think the same thing happens with anything once you start specialized zoning in on it. Same with Gibsons. I bet you there's Gibsons that are a desired year. You know, maybe 2010 to 2014, and then they changed factory, or they changed the type of paint they used or something, and then maybe they're not as good for a few years, then they're good again. And it's the same thing happens with Fender as well. It's like, that's where the Japanese ones is. It's like if you're looking at very late 70s up to like 85, 86, or it's like they're all fucking amazing. That's the pure, not saying there's not good ones before that or good ones after it, but the ones that they sold a lot of are kicking in there, which are the ones I get. Token a jobby. That's why CDs took off in the first place. I'm getting missed out. What are CDs? Oh, right, because okay, CDs aren't as good though. I'm just going to score that. Do you speak Dutch? He points out if I would feature, I would jobby myself. I've got a funny feeling jobby's a different. Jobby here's a jobby is a shite. So it's I'm pure token for a jobby is, it's a jobby. I speak Netherlands. Dank je wel. Decline the table juice, the one Dutch thing I can say. Or Netherlander. That's all right. You bang on, have a break, have a quick crap. Am I taking the old Kit Kat ad? Yes. My pal Steesh, when I was at school, used to have a t-shirt that said that on it. The Kit Kat logo that said have a break, but it didn't say Kit Kat. It said quick crap. Have a break, have a quick crap. Yeah. I didn't, Pontiac, did you? I some videos, some comments I see, they get flagged, and some don't. I don't. Frank keeps sending me messages, and it's like, not Frank Perico, not Tom, also known as Frank. I can feel really bad because every week or so I check the folder in YouTube that's like all the like withheld things, like where Dorothy the lab skeleton lives. But it's like, yes, do you approve this? It might be termed offensive, and that's where Frank lives. I always feel really bad about it. Like I don't get notified, and the actual message doesn't exist. Although sometimes I do get notified, and it says, "Oh, you've got a message from Pontiac." That says, "Yeah, that's a really good guitar. Have you tried?" And then I click on it, and the message is nowhere. It doesn't exist, but I can see the preview of it, and it's because it's maybe got, I don't know, something that YouTube deemed inappropriate. I don't know. I think we're talking about that many bad things. I also moved into like dinner plates. Yes, my check your tone arm weight. Yeah, this has got a big dent in it. I've actually got a really good record player. Got it from Uncle. It's a Pioneer, but it's like a whole unit thing, and the tape deck is a thing of beauty. It's got VU meters, and it's on a drawer. I think there's a radio for it as well, but the reason this record player kills it, it's got a speed control, and it's got like a wee window, which is the same. It's very similar to, on DJ record decks, they've sometimes got lines of dots on them and a wee strobe light thing that shines on it so you can speed it up so it's exactly right. This has got that kind of thing, apart from it's in below the turntable somewhere, and it's got a wee thing. So basically, the difference between that and every other record player I've had is I can play along with records on that, because you can just go, right, oh, the bass isn't quite in tune, and you go, oh, here we go, and I've got a wee thing to adjust to make it exactly 33 and a third. It kind of shows you quite technological. Good record player. I don't know. I've never tried adjusting the tone. I need to get a wee set of scales to get it right. But that's not why the record's fucked. The record's fucked because you can physically see it. Looks like something sat on it. If you imagine taking like a cog, like a bike cog on a wheel, and then just bashing it into it, it's like that. So it's like a line of wee dots that basically just runs through the first 2 minutes of the first song. But it's not on the cover because I looked. So I think it's actually a pressing before it went into the sleeve issue. Hopefully the next one won't be there. Oh. Don't smoke it. Yeah, you'll let us smoke that shit. Oh. I buy stuff now to enjoy, not think of making money in the future. Well, almost always. I like to buy things. I tend to buy guitars at the sort of range where I think I could probably get my money back if it turns out not to be a good deal, or not something I like. That's how I can manage. If you're buying stuff on eBay and you're looking at, something like a Roadstar or something, it's like, I might not like it, but if you buy it for the lower end of what it's worth, any guitar, if assuming there's any sort of completed listings on eBay, you'll look at it and you go, okay, I've got a Squire Classic Vibe B2, whatever it is. You look at it and you go, okay. Oh, someone's just knocked on my door. Hold on. Alive first. Who's it going to be? Oh. Paul Tax. Hello. We've got a special guest then. We're invading the live stream. Yes.
Jennifer's watching, waiting, and you're watching me invading.
Right. Yeah. So.
Invasion.
So we don't normally have an invasion on the live stream, but we've got an invasion. Special guest this week.
Fucking get in there.
Completely unannounced. Yes. So what are we doing? I'm just talking shite.
I brought that guitar to you for the one that's at the front, the ball back.
Yes.
Nothing unusual about it. Feels a bit heavy, right? It's not heavy because it's good quality. It's heavy because it's full of mud.
Oh my god, it's full of mud.
It's full of mud.
Like actual mud.
Mud.
It's full of.
My name is Mud.
My name is Mud. Yes.
Hey chaps, chapessies, how we doing?
Yeah, never actually
Hi,
tried. I think we both kind of just stand.
Hi Jennifer, how are you?
Hey Jennifer, how's it going? He made it here, and it was a surprise. I was sitting there going like that, Pierre. Oh shit, who's that going to be?
Is that the police?
Is that the police? Sorry, making a bit of noise.
So I did a police knock. Don't know if you heard it.
It was a little bit. I used to get into trouble for doing a police knock when I was delivering chips and stuff. Right, Pierre, you knock the door like the police, and it was like I wasn't really aware of me doing anything specific.
Who's saying stuff?
Who's saying stuff? People saying hello.
Scott's in the house, yes.
Oh, Scott's in the house.
Mr. Waitsmate just smoked a turd. Jeez, oh.
A turd. We're talking about jobbies.
Oh,
because
right,
I don't think jobby. I think jobby is like a job.
Polish chap, lol.
Hey Andy, how's it going?
I'll not hang about long and disturb it all, but I brought the new guitar. We got a new guitar. New guitar day.
This is unsuspected and cool, but literally yes, full of mud.
Where's that bottle of
It's in my fridge. Go and get it in the fridge. It's easy.
Okay. Back in a minute. Ruth, I can't speak. You know what I mean? Ruth.
Yes.
Two things. Fridge.
Yeah. So we'll try and regain composure. Yeah. What the hell's going on? My God. Yes. So coming up, anyone want to buy a roundback acoustic? That looks like you could probably.
Hey, don't you dare sell my Ibanez.
I've not seen the Ibanez yet. I said it says handcrafted between where it's eaten. A Collins.
Not Collins, unfortunately.
No, Collins.
Yeah.
So basically, Colin used to own this. You got some nice growth there around about the tuning pegs, I have to say. That's lovely. That's lovely. I would take them off and soak them in WD-40 overnight.
Where's the big Doug? The big Doug's sitting with Jennifer just now.
Oh, is he?
No, yeah, he's over in Annie's land.
Yeah, some friend I was talking about that earlier on. No, I wasn't talking to him. I wasn't talking to any of you. I don't know. I was telling Ronnie what he ate last night.
Oh, right.
But please don't have anything in your mouth. Please don't have anything in your mouth. Oh, worst case scenario. Yeah. Well, no, worst case scenario would be human baby. Wasn't as bad as a human baby.
Yes, I'm just talking about the vacuum, getting out the guitar.
It's Bucky Green.
Yeah.
This is a Bucky Green acoustic.
Well, these are yours. From Jennifer.
What are these? But I think a Bucky, actually Bucky Green, a Bucky acoustic.
You ready? What's in the bag?
What's in the bag? Oh, it's an Ibanez S series.
It's quite a nice one too.
They're all nice. You can't even.
It didn't come with a bag. This bag
right.
is
It weighs nothing.
Mahogany at the back, and it's just the merest slip of burl on the top.
Yeah, but it's a book match burl.
Yeah.
You see it in either side.
Yeah.
This is very similar to the one I had, the RG321. What is it? Oh, it doesn't work. It's an S771.
Fixed bridge.
It's awful nice.
I've got no idea what the pickups are. It's actually okay. The action's a bit high. It's needing some odds and sods.
It's only the action's only high because it's an Ibanez S series. I trust on each one.
Yeah, so it's probably one of these guitars that's been bought from my shop and never touched since.
Look at how thin these things are.
Yeah.
Really.
So Jen swapped that this afternoon for a Yabara, a really nice acoustic. See, remember that petrol blue semi-acoustic thing?
No.
Really nice. Nice. It's made by the same. It's like the in-house brand of Takamine. Do you know,
Right.
the way they make, it's like FGN. This company did these acoustic guitars, and it was one of those ones.
All right.
And she swapped it for that, and I swapped my Tokai Stratocaster for that.
Yes.
So Jen actually won in the end, I think, in the value of guitars things. But
yeah,
I really
but you
like the look of that one.
I know, but
I don't have one of those.
You do. You've got a black one.
I've got a black one.
Has it got a Floyd Rose?
I don't have one of those. That's fixed bridge.
No, to justify it, it's got a fixed
the
bridge.
only Ibanez I've got in the house with a fixed bridge.
Yes,
that's belonging to me.
It is. It is lovely. I mean, I do like it.
No bad, eh?
I do like it.
I'll not hang about too long, but what I'll do is I'll roll myself a cigarette, we'll call it, right?
Yeah.
For the drive home.
Do that.
Yes.
I'll plug it.
And you can try and figure out where the fuck you were again before you get invaded by the hairy.
I don't know. I've got the thing to catch up on, the chat.
My God, but look how small in here. But see, when we're on the screen, we're actually both more than 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
Look that way though, does it, when we're standing?
No, I'm pretty sure that
I'm about 4 feet nothing.
I'm not quite 6 foot. I remember.
Well, I'm 6'1". I'm just very, very.
I've got a bigger head.
Yeah, I'm 6'1".
Right,
You
so
be 6
I must
foot.
be 6 foot then.
Yeah.
I just remember measuring and being really annoyed that I wasn't quite.
Ah.
I was like 5'11" and 15, 16 or something.
What you do is just give yourself grace and call yourself 6
Yeah, but it wouldn't bother me if it was the other way around. I don't want to be falsely advertising as being 6 foot tall.
I've left my tobacco, not my tobacco, my things in the car at the back of the room. Carry on without me, people, right?
Yeah. Don't bother tuning it. The action's very high for an Ibanez. I'll give it that. So the answer is no. I don't know how it's full of mud, but it is full of mud. Turds mud. It could. I said turds. It could be manure. We just don't know. I've noticed YouTube doesn't seem to like you posting links. No, it doesn't. Always checks. It doesn't matter what it's a link to. Right, if you send me a cryptic thing here, totally. Really high over here. Good. Yeah. Oh. Yes, and that was obviously I was not expecting. He didn't say anything about turning up. He did message me earlier on talking about this swap and then saying, I've got the choice. I can either go over to Jen's house now and just get it, or I can just wait until next time I see her. And it's like, well, what, you've got the choice of getting your new guitar. Do you want it tomorrow or later, or do you want to be back here in 2 hours' time, sitting watching telly, playing your new guitar? And obviously, you better sit there and play your own guitar. Oh, but yeah. But that's got to be a Buck acoustic, especially since it's Bucky green. I wonder what.
Yeah, I was there hours ago at Jen's.
Yeah.
Literally, I was there within a few hours, 3 hours of our call. I had to take the lad for his big walk.
Oh, the big walk.
We did the big walk and then we went to Jen's and I took her out for dinner. It was lovely. Yeah.
Lovely. Yep.
Out for dinner.
That's what that's Troy away for a wee while then.
Just for until Thursday.
Cool. Yeah, they're doing a dog share.
I'm the mad uncle.
Troy was very good. So we're out in Scott's camper van last night. No, yesterday. The video was actually just uploaded, so you get to see that. So it works. Action's high. But I mean, the thing with if you've never played one of these S series, I don't think they're necessarily that much thinner in the middle, but at the edges, it's like cut yourself on it. It's like
they're amazing. That's the ones that
half
I
an
use
inch.
when I'm playing live.
Yes.
All the live stuff after you see the photographs of me playing Ibanez using its stem ones.
Your black ones, so they're not multi-lam necks.
Look at that, I can actually put my hood up in the corner here and disappear.
Yeah, I'll just continue on as normal. Easy enough. The guy in the corner. Who's that freaky guy? Well, what a day to be live. Yes, it's like, well, what's in the back? It was what's in who's at the door? Was the first? Who's at the door? The Polish. Who else is going to be? It's 9 o'clock at night. Folk don't generally come to your door at 9 o'clock at night. I assumed it was Ronnie had forgotten something. But I don't know. No, not doing the Polish knock. No.
That's rude. It's supposed to do.
Live jam, bass and guitar. That can be done. We can play bass and guitar. Yes, that's a good idea. Yeah, totally.
Rolling a
health cigarette. Yeah.
Yazzie fag.
Yeah. So I saw this. It's like pure. Immediately, it's like I just saw the message. Someone offered to swap this for an acoustic. Gen. It's like it doesn't really matter how good the acoustic was. It's like okay, fair enough. If it's like a pre-war Martin, you don't swap it for this. But if it's just an acoustic, get that turfed. Get me my hardtail Ibanez S series. This doesn't have the wizard neck, no way. This is a no. It's not. There's not the wizard 2.
Full-on wizard, no.
It's got another name. Yeah. It's the S series neck.
It's nice. It's kind of somewhere in between a Strat and that.
It's kind of not unlike the Paul Gilbert. No, Paul Gilbert's somewhere between this and a wizard. Yeah. Oh, it's small and thin, but not a wizard. You can yes. So sometimes it's good to get a wee surprise. I did shit it, and obviously for the 3 seconds it took me to walk out there, it was like, oh my god, I've just set that. I've let the thing run. It could be anything. It could have been just a gunshot and then someone coming in and stealing all the guitars, or the police or something important. Where I went, Scott had to pass an Ibanez Jiva. Do you know what a Jiva is? Too many gigs coming up where I need to stop in hotels. Sick as a duck missing that one.
Well, hold on a minute. I can actually put my phone on. Well, I can't because Jennifer's trying to talk to me. So
all right.
I can put my phone on to comments and see what's going on. I can't read that. It's miles away, mate.
I can actually do that. I mean,
multi-screen going.
Yeah, it's going to happen. I have actually set up. We did have a conversation the other night I was using the camera on top of my telly to try and we've obviously done video calls on the phone, but it's a bit different when you actually get. Yeah. And I found it quite surreal because basically what I was looking at was when we do videos together.
Give us one of your cigarette things. No, one of these wells here. Let's see what kind of damage I can do to Malco.
It fucking kill me, man. Jesus, I'm quite happy just standing next to you. Yeah. What's going on with that top veneer? I think it must be. I mean, it can't be a thick veneer because.
See if you look around about the input jack, you'll actually see the veneer thickness. And
oh right, okay, yeah.
It's like less than a mil, half a mil.
Yeah. But I mean, look at the thickness of the guitar.
Yeah.
You don't want to take away that tone of the mahogany.
It's very light. Have you got your scales there?
I do, yes.
It's quite a light
guitar. It is light. I'm putting this at. Is it under 3?
Yeah.
I think it could be. It's close to 3 kilograms. It could be under 3 kilograms. And the second lightest guitar is the Yamaha RGX A2 with the light bulbs in it, which is like a composite body. It's like an M&M, crunchy outside.
I've not killed you, okay? So
I don't even want to look.
You're not going to die. You're going to be fine.
I'm not going to die. I can smell it. I can smell it already, man. Jesus. Oh, 2.74. I was going to say the other one's 2.7. So basically,
you invite that homeless man in. Cheeky bastard.
Yeah, totally be as offensive as you want. There's nothing you can do about it. So we can say anything about Scott and he won't know. Well, you can say anything about Scott right now and he will know, but there's nothing he can do about it. Yeah. Jiva's a Nika Strauss signature model. I think it's one of these. It's an S series, like a mod.
Basically, the Herman Lee's an S series as well. The one with
it is, yeah, it's the one that's got a grip here.
Yeah.
You get one. Is it an E-Gen? That one's called.
Yeah. I've got the weathered one, the weathered black one. In fact, I've had 2 of them, but I sold one. Swapped one, remember?
Yeah, you swapped it for my pal Chrissy.
That and another guitar for the Bumblebee.
It's heavier.
Heavy. What is the weight of it? I wasn't listening.
I was 2.74 because for some reason it stayed on the screen. So this is going to be more than 3, I think, but still quite a lightweight guitar. 3.3. There you go. I mean, thickness. It's got thickness. I would still have said that was. I don't know if the thing like this is one of those ones that because of the shape of it, it's very ergonomically designed for. You're almost holding it down so it doesn't take off and go into orbit, which is kind of what it wants to do. But 3.5, 3.6 is completely average and normal. Yeah, thank you. I think I'm drinking Bucky.
What?
It's gonna be death on metal.
No, you just need to just leave it there and take a couple of puffs. Just remember.
Of course I remember. Jesus.
Right, don't forget.
Mm. Always better to invite a homeless man in. He might be Jesus.
Exactly.
That's it. That's
might be Jesus.
It's possible. Yes.
Highly unlikely.
Well, I don't know. No one's ever seen Jesus before, so maybe maybe it is him.
Obviously, he was black. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, he's not famous from a place where people are not white. So yeah, I'm the wrong colour.
Oh my God!
Did I just start a war?
I don't know.
Have we spoken about Marshall being acquired? Who bought Marshall?
Don't know. Never got that far. We haven't talked about Marshall, but
Who bought Marshall?
Somebody mentioned it earlier on, Cage Pap. So any information you've got, my God.
Are you all right back there?
So,
you all right?
my whole body's gone red. I've taken one puff.
You'll be fine.
Zounds. Is a Swedish Zounds? What I recognise the names. Is it Zounds? Swedish guitar company. I see two Jesus live down my screen here. Jesus, yes. I used to always talk about that was a band, one of the first bands I used to always call it cheesy was a good thing. Yeah. So if someone, it's like that's a pure cheesy song. It didn't mean it's a bad thing. Cheesy rock, it's good. So we were always talking about the god of cheesy rock and his son Jesus.
Jesus.
Because he said Jesus there.
Yeah.
Did Eminem buy Marshall? Eminem or Zound? I'm gonna be dead. Pontiac. It's like,
who was it? Did somebody say?
Say what?
Who bought it?
Sounds with a Z.
They bought a small company called Marshall.
Yeah.
Take bets on it. Actually, it's going to end up actually me hosting the show tonight. He's going to be in the toilet throwing up.
Yeah, I need to try and get this mic a wee bit closer to you. It's like you're notoriously quiet, and I just shout. But I mean, you say, I'll get the mic thing up and running at some point. Where we've got proper. I mean, the sound up at yours is much better than it is.
That's just because there's more microphones, though.
Yes, that's because you've got the USB interface thing.
Yeah, and proper microphones.
This is a proper webcam for what it's meant to do.
Okay.
Not what I use it for. I use it for everything. Yeah. It should be.
So what was your first opinion just while I'm here on the Ibanez?
It's amazing. It's exactly what I expect it to be.
So high action's the only problem with it.
The truss rod needs adjusted because the truss rod's never been adjusted.
Never.
But I mean, I know I'm racist. I don't like black guitars. That is much nicer than the black one.
No, I think the black one's cute.
I know, but I mean, black's all right. You know what I mean? I like the people, but not the guitars. So.
He's lying. He's kidding on.
He's kidding on.
It's like, right.
Yes, I go about hating those black people all the time.
No,
it's lovely. Look at the piece of mahogany. It's off as well.
You probably come from a mixed family like me. You didn't even know it.
Possibly, yeah. I know my grandma on my mum's side came from Ireland at some point.
No, my family's the League of Nations.
And also on my grandpa on my mum's side related to David Livingston.
Yeah, no, we've got lots of Irish in our family, and you know the Irish, they shag anybody.
So well, that's yeah.
Everybody.
Do a bit of that.
Yeah, so
this will have.
But yeah, I'm really pleased. I mean, the Strat that we swapped it for was a really nice Strat.
It was a really nice Strat, but the thing is, it's that whole thing. Actually, kind of a little bit on topic.
Yeah.
Talking about what a guitar's worth and how good it is don't necessarily tie in together perfectly. Because I mean, this guitar, whatever it is, I think these are maybe about 300 quid, maybe 400 quid new.
399 it was as a new guitar.
399 is a new guitar. So basically buying this on a 399 Squire Strat or Epiphone Les Paul, it's going to absolutely wipe the floor with both of them. Absolutely no competition whatsoever. But try and sell it 6 months later or a year later, I think you'll get less for this than you would for.
He was selling it on the marketplace for $220, and somebody had agreed to buy it and not have it. So
right.
That's how we just kind of jumped in and done the Ibanez.
I mean, to be honest, 220 is what I would have expected it to sort of go for in the not set up state. Oh, you're going to do, well, you're not going to do £100 worth of work in it in your own mind, but you're going to do what a shop would charge £100 to do it, to fix.
Fix it all up
And you'll end up with a guitar that's worth.
Well, the pickups, I need to see what they are. I don't know what they are.
They don't say Infinity on them.
They don't say IBZ either.
Or IBZ, no.
I don't know what they are.
Oh, they might not. You think they might not be original ones?
I don't know what they are. Oh, they will be.
2015.
I don't know what they were putting in at that point. Now.
I mean, they look like DiMarzios.
Yeah, what have we got? Have you not got a fancy set of pickups that I can buy off you?
I've got a set of Evo DiMarzios, which go straight in the Steve Vai. They're white though, but I mean, the white could make it look different from all the other ones. It's probably Mike Ashley. No interest in Marshall. I do. It's like maybe it's just the era I grew up in. For me, it was like a Marshall amp was.
Well, Marshall's not the same it used to be because they make Marshall amps all over the place. If you look talking about the old Marshalls, they were made down in Englandshire.
Yes.
And they were all hand wired, point to point amps, and they were really good. But
Milton
now
Keynes.
they're made in China and Taiwan, and Vietnam, and everywhere basically.
Nah.
Everywhere.
That's what came
under
up.
license.
That's what came about with
So
Park. We reissued Park at one point when we started making the small 12 watt.
So I don't know
thing.
how they would a Marshall sale would have taken it. Probably just a name, a trade name. They bought the name. Somebody's bought the name, and they'll be making the amps. Christ knows where.
I'm not sure. I still think they would maybe be in.
It's about as Milton Keynes.
Milton Keynes, aye, but I still think there would be a definite. Maybe just a slight mismanagement thing. I was talking about. Did Marshall not do that thing where they were kind of selling things that weren't guitars or guitar amps?
Yeah.
That they were selling, I don't know,
DAB
radios and watches and shit like that, and
speakers and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, stuff that they really should basically if you buy Marshall, you've got to churn out those GCM 800s. Basically, is what people want. Valve amps.
Decent amps,
you want a GCM 800 head with a 4x12 and a GCM 800 50 watt with a 1x12 cabinet are the two that you should be making.
Oh my god, I'm thirsty. I've just been out for a dinner in Glasgow. It was amazing. Can't remember the name of the place, but it was great.
It looked expensive because of the plates.
Expensive, yeah.
Yes.
Reassuringly.
Reassuringly expensive.
Oh. Well, Jen pulled a blinder today. She really did. Well done, Jennifer, by the way, if you're still on.
Watching the Guitar Channel. I'm not sure. Can you hear Scott at all? Hopefully it's not too bad.
People, am I being heard? It's going to end up with BMW owning Rolls Royce, pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much it. On the
yeah.
But
nice just to have an Ibanez with a fixed bridge. Yes, I understand you're thinking. I mean, I had an Ibanez for a couple of years, RG321, which unfortunately had been really bad. It was the same, that black colour yours was, but someone had been sitting there scratching it with their thumbnail and put their name in it and all that shit. And it was like, so I kind of sanded it down, but because it was mahogany, I didn't want to paint it because then it wouldn't look like it was mahogany. And the whole point was it was a mahogany one, which this is. I'm pretty sure 3-piece, I would think.
Yeah. 2 or 3, yeah. Well, that's how they make them, not how they smell.
Yeah, no, but the thing about this guitar as a concept, see, it's got this big plastic thing on the 5-way switch, which it's always got, is because the guitar isn't thick enough to take a 5-way switch, so they've had to extend it to get an extra 2 millimeters for the lever. So it's just basically just bring it up 2 millimeters, and if you look on the back, the back cover is surface mounted. It's not recessed because there's not enough room to recess it.
Frank Gambale plays an S-Type as well.
I don't know who that is.
The guy he did play with, what's his face? The piano player, keyboard player that just died a couple of years ago.
Richard Clayderman.
Oh, he's Electric Blues Band. Chick Corea's guitarist. No?
Don't know who that is.
Chick Corea's Electric Blues Band. A guitarist called Frank Gambale. Looks like Gamble, but he's I think he's Australian. But I saw him not accidentally. I got invited to a gig years ago, and it was in the Town and Country Club in London.
Right.
Which is like a big gig down there, and I thought, fuck it, yeah, night of rock and roll, but it wasn't. It was this Chick Corea's Electric Blues Band.
Right.
And it's just basically a stage full of virtuosos. It's the first time I'd ever seen anything like that.
Right.
Whereas everybody's a virtuoso. And this guy, Frank Gambale, is just the most technically proficient guitarist I've ever. He's like Yngwie Malmsteen on speed. for what he does, all the jazz phrasing and stuff like that, it's a lot more complicated.
Yeah. The thing which I'm really bad at, and I'm not really
Yeah.
good at playing any, but I'm really bad at being good to play along with. But I'm sure it was when you get these mad folk like that, they're totally sit back. It's like, it's not my turn to solo.
Yeah.
I'll give you the best backing.
Yeah.
It's the easiest to play over the top of, and that's the challenge. It's very difficult.
This guy,
I don't think I'm good at that.
Frank Gambale, though.
Frank Gambale.
Yeah.
I definitely recognise the name. Never seen him.
Yeah, he looks like he doesn't look like a guitarist when he's not got a guitar in his hands. You know, he's one of those guys who just doesn't look like he should be. Yeah, jazz team. Yeah, pretty much.
Mixed up.
Well, he's obviously influenced by the likes of Alan Holdsworth, but he's been doing all that other stuff as well and taking it the next step forward from Alan Holdsworth. Yeah. And it was amazing, yeah.
The owners of Marshall have a 25% holding. Yeah, well,
it's just going to be the name now because they make them everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think they're still going to make them in Milton Keynes. It might not be the same factory, but they're still but people are going to pay more for that.
I've got Jim Marshall's autograph. I met him. He used to do the guitar shows around about Glasgow.
Yes.
And around about the UK. I went to the guitar show in Glasgow that happened in the 90s, and I was helping out on one of the stalls, and he was coming around just talking to folk.
Yes. No, I heard he was.
I was actually talking to him and I had no idea, and then people were asking him for his autograph round about me, and that's how I discovered that it was Jim Marshall. Fuck, I thought it was one of the reps from like.
I've heard he was a people person.
Yeah, just a wee old guy, and he's talking away.
Just quietly confident in his in the thought, go like that, Pierre, something like that, Pierre. Yeah. Oh, breaking the law, Judas Priest. Yeah. They're one of mine. What that Eric Clapton? Yeah. Just like got that. Jimi Hendrix. I did him.
Yeah. Who's the guy that I met? A fancy guitarist there as well. The guy that plays the guitars with all the necks, and he's just joined.
Michelangelo Battio.
Met him, and he's like, "Yeah, keep it up, kid." And I'm like, "Yeah."
I always thought he was ridiculous because you'd see him in all the guitar magazines. He's got a really bad haircut, like a unique haircut, kind of like a Brian May, where it's like you see his haircut and you know who it is, or a Justin Hayward. If you see the haircut, or Keith Richards, maybe a wee bit like that as well. You don't need a face. You just get the haircut. You are you. Yes, I have heard it's a wig recently as well. Yes.
Yeah, but he can actually do it. I've seen him doing it.
Yes, 4 necks. No, I mean, no. The thing is, I ended up watching. Civic liked him. Watching he does like podcasts and stuff like that, and he's a funny guy. He's
so fast though.
Hey, yeah, totally. He kind of holds his guitar funny, but I mean, it's one of those. It's a wee bit like Paul Gilbert in that way. Actually, that's what Ronnie said about Paul Gilbert earlier on, because I was up here talking about Ibanez a couple of weeks ago. With Paul Gilbert's signature. Is that Paul Gilbert's up here? I know, but he's cool. But I watched one of his videos now, and he's like tonight. He's up here. He doesn't play any music like that. He plays acoustic and stuff. I was watching some of that Paul Gilbert stuff. I was up here. He's not a pure fanny. So that's high praise indeed. Yeah, he's really good. He's not, but he is. I mean, you don't need to be.
His Instagram seems to be a better account to follow than the other ones because he always does odd stuff on there, just like odd recordings with his mad guitars.
Yeah,
and they're always brilliant Ibanezes as well. It's like
he's got so many Ibanezes. He had one of them, my white Tempest, basically exactly that. Apart from it was a left-handed one.
He needs to do a deep dive, doesn't he, of his collection?
I can't imagine what his collection is like. Yeah, that was a guitar I've not played yet tonight. If anyone guessed earlier on, it was a Washburn A5.
Oh, it's one of these guitars that's got a bit that sticks into you.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah,
it's got 2 bits that stick into you. It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but the hint's in the name. Stage series. And if you're on the stage sitting down and you're not Robert Fripp, it's unacceptable. Yeah, no, see the signed photo of Jim Marshall you've got. I wonder if it's the one, the Blues Breaker one, the one with the checked amp. And it's got a Beano comic sitting next to it, and there's a Les Paul leaning against it. I've seen every single guitar shop in Glasgow had that as a signed photo on the wall.
I've got it's a Marshall A4, not A4. See the half size A5.
Yeah, right.
Just black Marshall across the top, and he's signed it in a silver pen. Jim Marshall underneath. That's the one I've got. Okay. I should really dig that out and put it in a frame.
Well, what I really want to do is I want to take in my after the end grill. But he's dead now. But I would have taken it's just a metal grill. Take the grill off and get him to sign that below where it says Marshall, but use a white pen. So that'd be how accurate is that signature to his actual signature. I mean, old Marshall might say, well, I think so. I mean, Marshalls are always expensive. If anyone's after one of those, it's a V shape. No, it's really strange. It kind of, when you're playing it standing up, it kind of feels like. it's trying to take off.
Yeah.
It's like a machine gun or something.
It's really nicely finished, though, isn't it? It's like an American Fender finish.
It's lovely. I mean, I think that's my favourite of the stage series guitars. That's the cheapest one. That's the bolt-on neck one. The other ones have all got binding and bridges and all that stuff. Yeah, push-pull pots I put in. They went originally on it.
Yeah.
So I've got the single coil sounds.
Very nice. Yes.
Paul's done some videos playing his EVH Frankenstrat. Really? He's playing, is it an Ibanez EVH Frankenstrat though?
Who's that? I missed that one.
Someone just said there something about the trying to go over the top of the mic. There's just cage paps. Paul's done some videos playing his EVH Frankenstrat. But I mean, I don't know how much. I don't imagine. I mean, Ibanez won't be holding him to. Oh, you're not allowed to play any other kind of guitar. They won't be holding that. But I think this is completely unfounded. But I think he's got some deal where, because he's buying all these Ibanez Roadsters and stuff like that, I think, and he's got like a guitar tech guy in his pocket. I think Ibanez might pay the guitar tech guy, so Paul can buy. Because he's got all of these old Ibanez, and then just get it set up properly for free. So when he buys them himself, obviously he spends his time.
Funny when he gets them in. Yeah, I got this one, and I happen to have lying around a set of Air Nortons and all that.
Yeah, I had a drawer full of DiMarzio pickups he sent me, the ones I didn't like, but I kept them anyway, and then I just fucking threw them in a guitar.
So that American chef woman who keeps going on the telly and telling you to use your leftover veal. Who leftover veal?
Leftover veal.
Leftover. Leftover venison? What's that?
You don't have any if you get Troy kicking about anyway, for sure. Troy was on form yesterday, has to be said. A funny guy.
Sorry, I'm enjoying this guitar. It's great.
How's that?
Play the walking bass.
I'm going to play the small bass, yes.
Walking bass.
I can play walking bass on it, yes. I just need to.
Do you play the walking bass?
I need to find another lead though, so if you can plug in there and you're already ready to go.
Walking bass.
In fact, what I want to do is I want to take it out of that and stick you straight into that, and it should just be on and on as fuck. Fucking amazing wee bass though, eh?
Magic.
I worked it out, it's because it's got a P-bass dimension neck at the bottom. Most of the small short scale you get have got a thin neck, it does not. Fucking bastard, you know? Manic depression is burning my soul. Manic burning us on the live stream.
This is a magic bass.
It's magic. That's what I was trying to say earlier on. Is up here, Jen? mind them. Those were Argos basses, and they were cheap as fuck. Tone wig. It's really difficult. It's a Bob Daisley one. Yeah, just the chords in it. I can't remember how to play it anyway. I'm 2/3 of a bottle of Bucky down, so I've got all sorts of excuses. I do like this guitar an awful lot, though.
Yeah, I don't know any songs. He knows. I don't think you know any songs that I know. Do we? Do any songs?
I don't know. I mean,
We've never really done anything officially.
No, it's really shit that we've never played anything. Really. I know some easy ones, but I can't think what they are. Any Slades? I know any Slades. They're always good. Good bass in them. No idea what that is.
Play something, a solo.
Bring it back in our Stevie Ray Vaughan there. Cheers, kids, pops! Down to the crossroads. I bought myself a beer. How do I play crossroads? Down to the crossroads. Got myself a beer. Come and steal my beer. Sorry, L Jam. Yes, no, we do need to definitely start having a bit more jam. Things going on. Scott and Malco's Sunday Badass Band. Yes. YYZ, that's amazing, that thing though. Mm. You can see why I was talking earlier about how I was worried about what to do. Because it's upgradable, but
oh Christ, why though? You don't need to.
No, that's the thing, isn't it? It's like, why would you upgrade it? I was thinking of putting in a Washburn pickup. I want to play that. We might be playing a gig at the Clutha Vaults next Sunday, so next week's live stream might be Saturday night, or come down and see it live at the Clutha Vaults.
Live stream.
We're just falling out with that might be your one, my one. Which will have hopefully got about half in it, but yours does, or 10. No, I did that one time before. You'll have seen the video. That's the ashtray. It must be mine, eh? Aye, it's yours. 2 puffs and fucking.
Well,
I spaced out, man.
Tolerances. This is what's interesting. You're doing well, and if you take any of it,
yeah,
or they just have like a puff and run away from it.
I took a puff and ran away from it. Different kind of church service, yes. I don't dig blues, but the thing about blues is, I can play it.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
And I can play it and I recognise bits of Clapton and bits of Creed and all that sort of stuff. You play that. I'll play bass. Or just throw it to the floor. Either way is fine with me. That does Yes, I will work out how to do the t-shirts. I took the strap off it. AC/DC, that's one note. Go for it. I don't know.
Which other one is it?
Hold on, Rosie. That must be easy. It must be an A as well. Or high voltage.
What about Queen?
Queen. That's fucking nice. Go for Queen more like the
TNT? I can't remember what TNT goes.
That's Flash Gordon, by the way.
That's just got really high action.
It's got really high action. It makes it much more comfortable having the bass, though. It makes it much more comfortable having the bass. I was alone. I feel alive. And then darkness turning into my mind. I feel believe. It's really not just fantasy. Nice. Yes.
Play Cheeky Girls number. I don't know any Cheeky Girls.
We are the
So dry sounding. Dry, innit?
I like it dry. Peter Gunn, that's Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Well, I don't know what you've been told, but black women can't get no soul. Well, I didn't really go get no soul with a different other man with another role.
I need to lie down now.
Did you know Black Dog's one of those songs that's
Fuck you, Stratocaster.
yes, Stratocaster. One of the two folk have actually met on the street. Oh. Now I know the time is right. Love will flow like wine tonight. I can't believe it, perfect you. Other people feel like me. To escape from mercy. To be the darling nothing. Steal away. Steal away. Steal away the night.
What's another one?
You're gonna look to me and say there's gonna be there's a final day.
I'm just going to do wee sections, guys. Wee bits. That was an India song. Don't know what that was.
Yes.
Something.
No, it must be possible. If they all learning different stuff.
Next.
Hey Joe. New Rose, yes. New Rose, that's the one. And yes, I will be doing the t-shirt thing.
Hope it ignites better.
No, but New Rose is the one that I was talking about the other night. New Rose, I kind of know that one. I've never heard this song before. I can't remember that, but from a description, a couple of folk in the chat actually said that's New Rose by. Which I forgot now.
I can't remember how to play the New Rose right now.
I can't. No, it's only because you can't remember what the tune goes like. It's easy. Kind of goes very power chordy. Is that a crazy key?
Yeah, different key. Why not? Though?
Not crazy, it's different. I'm going to try and sing it. To see you remember me, yeah. I'm your tired 20th century boy. 20th century toy. Wanna be your boy. 20th century toy. Wanna be your boy. Well, friends say it's fine, friends say it's good. Everybody says it's just like Robin Hood. Every beauty crying, every bird is flying, nothing but a something good. Well, it's plain to see, you remember me, yeah, I'm your boy, a 20th century toy. 20th century toy, I wanna be your boy. 20th century boy, wanna be your boy. Moves like a cat, talks like a rat, everybody says he's just like Robin Hood.
What else? Glenn Campbell spent 9 years in Africa.
Drum pedal on and the band is complete. That does limit. Oh. The drum pedal's not plugged into the bass amp anymore because the bass is plugged straight into the bass amp, so I need to have a small think about it.
Marvelous. This is quite a really good guitar. It's a shame the action's so damn high.
Yes, but still playable. It's like an acoustic action. It's not out the realms.
No, it's not out the realms of playability. It's like an acoustic guitar.
Yeah. Glenn Campbell spent 9. Glenn Campbell, who's Scottish, and if you don't believe me, look up Glenn Campbell Mull of Kintyre, where he's wearing a 70s Scotland football top, playing the bagpipes on some shit American TV show, playing Mull of Kintyre, because apparently he's Scottish. Didn't sound it, but I guess
you'd have to be, wouldn't you? Plug into one of the other 3 amps. What?
So try to get it's actually, although I'm quite drunk, what you're saying makes perfect sense.
It does.
It totally can, because what I could do is I can turn that off, right? And then I could take that wire that used to feed the drum pedal into the into this amp, which might have quite a loud noise when you turn it on. And then if I just press
he's Scottish. Yeah, exactly, Stratocaster.
Scottish. And if I just do that, we can play songs in that tempo. Work as hard, you can work as hard. No one works as hard as right down. Any cream song, any good cream song.
I keep losing the drum beat. Right, hold on.
My blue suede shoes. And I'd like to lose.
What are they saying? We're just running away with we should be lost in these guys.
Yes, I
rather
know.
than doing
I'm
this.
drunk and you brought up some things that make me go mental. Rock and roll, Led Zeppelin, that's probably doable.
Yeah. I think I can look rock.
It's just the rock and roll by Led Zeppelin, but the drums aren't going to fit, are they? Just got a funny timing. Nah, fuck the drums. Fuck the drums!
That's what you that's
But blues is dead easy to play, especially when you're drunk. That's why people like blues.
But what we have to do is organise tunes. I'm too artistic for this shit.
What, you think playing along with someone who's completely random and had 3/4 of a bottle of Bucky and you're playing a guitar with a really high action you've never played before with those strings on it
I've
is...
lost my joy. This is a worry.
That's there. The one that I'm pure scared of touching.
Oh, the one that you keep running away from?
Yes. The one that's too much of a man joint for me.
Yeah. No, I'm completely taking over the stream. You guys ask questions.
This is a treat. There you go. North Shields from Stockton originally. I know where South Shields is, so I assume that's just the other side of the river from...
Where is it?
South Shields is the other side of the Newcastle River, which is obvious and pure
Shields.
fucking...
Yeah.
It's the Newcastle River is...
Tyne.
The Tyne, for fuck's sake. Go look. Sit there going up here. That band that did Fog on the Tyne, I'm sure it's got something to do with it. Lindisfarne, yeah.
Needs more cowbell. Does need more cowbell. You're right. Do you record some and send it?
Yeah. There isn't actually a cowbell option on that drummer pedal, and it's got like about 50 different drum loops. One of them should be cowbell. Even if it's just a silly thing that has to be... Yeah, there's this fucking... I don't know. Yeah. 100... More than that. I can't remember.
So much stuff going on down your feet here. You've got a lot more pedal. You probably don't.
No, I've got a lot more pedals that look like there's pedals. That is the drum pedal, right? Yeah. Which normally goes into the bass amp. But just now it's going in there because this bass is plugged straight into the bass amp.
Okay.
That chooses whether I use this amp or this amp.
Yeah.
That chooses the guitar amp or a bass amp or both.
Or both.
Or both at the same time, which is the best bit, obviously, because you get distortion as well as. So we go in the tuner, and then it goes to this.
Okay.
And then I've got a Washburn stack in a box of fuzz pedal. Chorus, memory toy, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That amp.
Yes.
Yes. And it all goes into the loop.
Pedal fast pedal.
It's made by somebody in Glasgow.
What does it do?
It's a distortion pedal of sorts. I can't remember. He told me what it was. It's a copy of it's not a clone. Some other super famous thing. I seem to remember the guy's name's Andy who made it. Get Scott to play your Washburn Wing.
Why?
Because he wants to hear if it's good. It's got Zico strings on it. We were playing it last night. Yes, but it's the thing is that the shit strings. See if you're putting them on a Squire or something or a Bucky caster, like a £100 guitar, doesn't make that much difference. You put them onto the absolute cream of the crop, and it goes. I'm a Ferrari. I need high octane jet fuel. Don't give me that. Whatever normal unleaded from Lidl is or Asda is.
Honestly, I use 3 sets of those Zico strings on one guitar. I just couldn't put them on and take them straight back off again. Another set, all failures.
Yeah.
Don't buy Zico strings for electric guitars.
No, the acoustic ones are good though. I still stand by that. I think
they're good. I'm still using them.
They're fine. Yeah. Well, it depends what you put them in. If you're putting them in any of those guitars, yeah. I mean, if you've got like a pre-war Martin, you're not going to stick strings that cost £2 a packet on it. You're going to. But I mean. That's something you've got a chance of actually hearing the difference.
That's so heavy. It's so mud.
Fiberglass is quite heavy though.
No, but it's mud.
But it's mud. Yeah. It's like see when you see some of these guitars. Actually, I did it with this bass. See that your linseed oil to get the neck to look like that. It just soaks in, and it took a lot. Yeah. It was pure sucking it in, but that's a really nice looking rosewood fingerboard now.
Lindsay Doll's a way to go. Boiled.
Digital cowbell goes plink plink. I think I may actually have digital.
Probably
The loop pedal's got. It doesn't have drums built into it. It's got like a click track, but there's one of them you can choose. There's different versions of a click track. There's boop, 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 beep, boop. And then there's like one that sounds like a drum.
I'll grab the wing off the wall and sit down with it.
Oh
God.
Sandwiches always taste better when they're cut into triangles. Yes, it's corners.
Yeah.
The deal there is corners. It's like the more corners you've got, the better.
It's quite a chomp, by the way. Fellas and ladies out in Malcoland, this guitar's quite heavy.
Well,
yeah.
And we were talking about Brazilian rosewood actually in your video, which no one's seen yet because I didn't manage to load it up yet.
Nice bit of wood, isn't it?
I think that's the prettiest guitar ever. I don't think it's the most practical. It's not the best playing.
I don't know. It's not bad.
It's not it's not the best guitar in the world, but it looks like it. It's best built one.
It's better than a Les Paul, certainly.
There's turds floating down the Clyde that are better than a Les Paul. That'll appeal to some folk.
Sorry, guys.
I don't mind the Zico for guitars. No, the Zico strings are all right. The acoustic ones are good. The electric ones they're like those Harley Benton ones. It's one of those ones where you just they're £2 a set, but for £4 a set, you're starting getting into the fact you could buy like good strings, like roto sounds, which are fine. I think there's a point where you can argue that you want your what's the one you buy? Ernie Ball. Are the best strings, yes. But they're not. They're maybe 5% better than roto sounds maximum, sort of thing.
I wouldn't even say about.
No, they're different, but there's no more than 5% difference of quality, and they're getting roto sounds and they're fine.
Yeah.
But the difference between them, the Zicos are like, as you say, it's better than not having 6 strings or having ones that are decades old. Gluten free now, no more ham and cheese or white toast. Damn it! Pontiac's gluten free. It's like you're intolerant of the gluten, bastard. Yes, I'm getting drunk now.
Is there gluten in ham?
No, but there is in the bread.
I suppose
it's the bread in it. You do. I think basically you just go mental for pita bread is the way to go. And it's like one of those things. It's like when you're buying vegetarian stuff or vegan stuff. Yeah. See if it's something that shouldn't really have meat in it anyway, like a vegetable chow mein. That's totally fine. It's when you get something that should have meat in it and you get like a steak pie. I don't mind having a vegetable pie, that'd be fine, but I don't want a steak pie that doesn't have meat in it. That doesn't sound right. That hurts.
Wow. I'm sorry, I'm wowing in this guitar.
You're going to go through the sustain test with the most sustaining guitar ever with normal strings on it.
It's not bad still.
It's still quite sustaining. I actually struggle with these guitars at the start.
The problem with Zico strings is they keep going out of tune.
Well, turn standards. A what?
Okay.
Alice 0.73 because I've got hundreds of them. What a different type. No stop signs, speed limits. Nobody's gonna turn me around. Got a wheel, gotta spin it. Everybody's gonna take it away. Going down.
I'm playing the wrong song. What version are you playing?
The one that.
See, this is the problem. We've never played. We need to sort something. We need to play.
No, I'm playing the version that just plays A on the bass all the way through, even though it never actually does it, but just holding on for the whole verse, just going.
Yeah.
I don't change notes until it gets to the E. Yeah! I'm on a highway to hell. Right for it. Highway to hell. Highway to hell. Highway.
Yeah, that.
But there's definitely a version. Oh. Gluten-free beer, yeah. Yeah, I spent some hippies to school me. Thank God for the hippies. The mic, I know the mic probably can't do it. The mic probably can't cope with.
The mic will not be coping now.
But it's not. I want to take some of the blame off the mic and put some of it onto the uploads. Thing isn't good enough.
Yeah.
YouTube's limiter. Yeah.
That sounds like it's fizzing out. That's an amazing distortion. What are we using? The distortion?
It's a rat pedal, but it could also be a dodgy connection going to that tuner, which is super dumb.
Yeah.
The rat. Been a long time since I rock and roll. Time to cut them. So what's it gonna be? I've not played the bass drum for years. Paranoid.
What's the guitar with the white burst?
AYO7, that's the Ibanez RG530. Well, we're getting some deep shit here, man. Look, Adams asked if you lower a Tesco carry bag into your stomach with a fishing line, eat and drink whatever you want, and then lift it out and empty it down the drain.
You'd die though, wouldn't you?
You would choke on the plastic bag. You would. I mean,
yeah. I mean, it's a good idea, but what's the point? You're not getting any nutrition. You just waste away and die.
Yeah, it's like that. You've got to look at the possibility of death to any gain ratio.
The thing about it is eating is so much fun. I mean, why would you not want to eat the best?
No, yeah, I think what the plan is there. You eat as much as you want, and then because you've got a bag down your throat, none of it goes into your stomach, so you can just pull it out, and then I've just eaten 2 kebabs.
You could just go make yourself sick, but that's what do they call that? Bulimia.
Yeah.
You end up with bulimia.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
Oh, the other one.
Yeah.
What's the other one called?
Oh, Von Struppel's in Australia. Wow, you're in a different range of.
One down under. My mate Jennifer was just there.
That's true, yeah.
she went there and she went to the. What did she go?
What are you plugged into? You're plugged into the base.
I've dropped the cable. That's what it is. It's my fault. Sorry, bad habit that. What's that? Have a bottle of laxatives with the meal. So
this is plugged into that. So if I just hit that,
That's the same thing.
goes
though,
away.
isn't it? Yeah. What's that? Have a bottle of Lancers. We're still heading down the bulimia path though. Do that. Get yourself ill long term.
Well, I don't know. It's like, yeah, I've never tried a laxative, but I don't like the idea of overshitting's bad. I just drink fresh orange juice. Remember
Eat
thinking
prunes.
that. Remember eat prunes.
Yeah.
A warrior's drink, according to Worf. Yeah,
Prune juice.
a warrior's drink.
I
That's
don't
what.
fancy exerting any pressure on anything.
Sorry, Mr. White, he's not as much of a trekkie as we kind of suspected. Obviously, it's not been a broached subject. You don't broach this subject.
I'm a trekkie. I'm a trekker. I'm
Yeah.
Those, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't they go down they went off the scales with the new generation, next generation?
Yeah, see,
It
but
turned into EastEnders in space.
yeah, but what happened was it was lockdown. Lockdown got me, and I was like, "Pierre, right, lockdown. What we're going to do? I've got someone else's.
Oh, no,
I'm a friend on someone's Netflix.
I'm a proper
Star Trek: The Next Generation. Obviously seen it tons. Watched a lot. So I've seen all of them.
Yeah, I've had to, like,
Some of them I've seen 20 times. Some of them I've never even heard of.
girlfriends and stuff were more into that. It's kind of, it was more because it was more like EastEnders in space. It really was. It wasn't really like old-fashioned Star Trek with battles every week. It was like touchy-feely. Yeah. Let's talk about our feelings now. No.
Yeah.
Shoot someone.
But Worf did say. Worf did.
I was just trying to make the connection. Worf. What?
Worf is the Klingon.
Yeah, I know he is.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but there's a bit where. Oh, I can't remember her name. Guy, Whoopi Goldberg is the bartender.
Oh God, yeah.
It's like, what can I drink that doesn't have alcohol in it? Is that up here? You got blood wine? No. It's like, here, try this. And it was up here. This is the drink of warriors.
Imagine trying.
What is it? Prune juice. So every time you ever saw me, you got prune juice.
Yeah.
Drink of warriors.
Well, when you try to exert anything after prune juice, you'd end up flooding something. Yeah. Yeah, if you want liquid poop, that's how you get it, isn't it?
Well, that's it, yeah.
Imagine that.
We're off on a funny tangent.
Yeah.
Is a good guitarist the guy with good technique, or is it the guy who can play the most songs?
But both.
It definitely contains both of them, but that's the thing I was saying earlier on. It's like I've got my pal Peg plays guitar, and he's so easy to play along with. It's amazing. That's his total strength. I mean, I've always been able to do more twiddly and stuff, but being easy to play along with, which is something I'm shite at. I'm shite at being easy to play along with.
Me too.
So, yeah, so two people are shite at being easy to play along with.
No, but like in a band sense, I'm not. Yeah, I can.
No, there's more people. It's not a make up on the spot thing. So.
Oh, well, yeah, well, we'll be okay there. Right.
I've got the Bucky to smooth out those notes. So I see the Bucky makes it like here. Oh, it's meant to be an E, and I've just played a D. Boo! I meant it.
Yeah. Jazz.
Yeah, no, I meant it. It's like I did it. I started in D, but I slid up to E because I thought it'd be pretty cool to go. That's what.
What's that? A good guitarist can sing and turn up on time. I'm fucked because I've got ADHD, so I don't turn up on time for anything. What you do is you tell me you want me half an hour before you actually want me, and then you'll get me roughly on time.
No, but yeah, you're totally agree. Like the idea about going into being in a band, there's another element of which has nothing to do with how well you can play or what music you're into. That is, you turn up when you say you're going to turn up.
Yeah. I usually
and you're contactable when it comes. That's a.
Is that evening all Amp Wales?
Hey, Amp Wales. Got a special guest. He just turned up at my door, like in the middle of
police chop.
Thing me, smoke things next to me, and I'm hammered now. And we had a jam, and it didn't work. But well, it didn't. No, I don't know what it sounded like. I knew it's.
Oh, I mean, if you rabble because it's.
Yes. Oh, completely.
If we recorded it, it would be better, but no.
Yes, if it had more mics, it would have been a more even fuzz. You got Drink of Warriors. You're certainly trying to hold it in. Yeah, it's only because Mr. White's. No, if Mr. White. The reason is this. I can't remember. I was talking about tone wood, as you do. Mr. White's writing at the tone wood, and I was talking. He's like up here, and his reply was, "Did our 4 lights?" And I was like, up here, oh. I know to what you reference. Yes. Not only looks and sounds a bit like Cobb Ban. The 4 lights. There are 4 lights. Yes.
I kind of get the reference as well. You explained it to me before, but I can't remember.
Did I? Have I mentioned it before?
Yeah, you talked about this before. The 4 lights.
The 4 lights. I think it's something to do with the cards getting brainwashed by someone. And there's 3 lights. But he says, no, there's only 3. And he's like, no, there is 4. And he pure wins. It's pretty funny. Hardcore Trek fan and flat earther. Yes. The flat earth's a funny one we don't get onto. Can't fault it, but I'm pure chilling tonight because I've got tomorrow off. Been sat here playing that satellite love everybody thing.
There's not any rich flat. Is there any rich flat earthers? I don't think there are. Or there'd be an expedition to the edge of the world. Obviously, they're too poor. You know what I mean?
But it's.
Are they? I don't know. This is what I'm wondering about.
No, but it's a funny thing. It's the thing about like community thing where it works on internet. But you end up.
Eventually going to come to the edge. So why doesn't one of them just go and prove it?
Oh.
So why not? I think they should do a TV program. Somebody should sponsor them. I mean, flat earthers, and say, right, guys, there's some money. Off you go. See you at the edge. And see what they come up with. Just see what they come up with. I bet you end up at a waterfall or something like that. And go, yeah, that's the edge of the world.
But is it people that are in on the joke? There must be some people. I think they really look at it. There must be some people who are doing it to make money.
Well, obviously there are.
Yeah, there's some people
selling books and merchandise and T-shirts and all that shit on the channels.
But is it like Spinal Tap?
I don't know.
Where obviously as soon as any of us watched Spinal Tap for the first time, it made sense and you got it. It's a joke. But if Spinal Tap songs weren't good, Spinal Tap wouldn't be good. You wouldn't like the film if they were just shit.
What the fuck is that?
No. Because the thing is, they're not. I mean, okay, they've gone slightly further than Rainbow did, but not that much further. You know, like with Stonehenge or Black Sabbath, and you know,
yeah, they all done it, but proper size, nothing.
That was the problem. The problem was it was life size that Geezer Butler asked for, and they went okay. So they ordered them. I don't even think they were life size, but they were. They played like they were doing like a 20-date arena tour or football stadium tour, and they managed to use it like 6 times because. That was the places that were actually big enough to take 3 of the Stonehenge monoliths. They had the whole set, but they never played anywhere that was big enough to actually take more than 3 of them because it's like pure, Stonehenge. Really, you're talking the ideal height for Stonehenge, I would think, is 8 feet. 10 feet, 10 feet, just where it's tall enough to be taller than us, because as far as we all know, that's how big they are.
Well,
they're taller than a person.
Well, do you know that was completely rebuilt in the 50s?
No.
It was completely flat, and a farmer came along and literally and his pals and put them all back up again, and they're all actually concreted in. It's not Neolithic foundations. So
there's none of them existed with the bits on the top.
Well, they've put them all in the right place, in the right order, but they've had to put them back up. Do you know what I mean? It's not been standing the whole time.
It does seem a bit different, doesn't it?
See, if you look it up, if you look up the rebuilding of Stonehenge, it will show you the black and white photographs and the old farmer with his pipe and stuff.
Right.
He got them all aligned and right. You know,
right.
He done that bit, but it's got concrete.
Still been put up by a tractor.
Actually, see, if you go to Stonehenge, it's really weird because the first time I saw it was back in the kind of mid-80s when I used to go backwards and forwards to Glasgow. I used to go down and work as a roadie for my cousin. Out in time off college and school and whatever, I'd go down for summers. And we used to travel around about there. And you used to drive past it, and it was like literally 100 yards from the road. And there was no fence or anything like that. You just drove past it, and you're like that. Stonehenge. Out literally just next to the road. They've got a road going right through the whole place.
Yeah, I'm sure. I remember Hawkwinds definitely played there.
Did they?
As a like in
on the road.
The late 70s, they just played at Stonehenge, so they were just like had the ramps up against the pillars and shit. Because
it's mad. It's just it's weird the way it is. So close to the road.
Need to find some of that shit. Actually, there's some stuff on For You Pontiac. He changed his name back to Pontiac, by the way. Was it 15 something? Yeah. Those graves.
How do you keep up with all that stuff?
I just look at it and see if there's anything that takes my fancy. I'm just used to doing it drunk. It's like I'm kind of on autopilot, to be honest. You flung me. The Earth is an endless flat plane, no edge, like an Ibanez S series. The problem is you've got the Ibanez S series does curve.
It does eventually come to an edge.
So maybe it's curved, but it's got an edge. You're going for the both curved and
it's flat with an edge, therefore it's a sphere.
Yeah, but no, I think we've got to give everyone a fair chance. Mr. Whitesnake believes that the Earth is not flat, right? It's basically an Ibanez S series. Okay. So it's curved to the point you get to the edge, and then it's a drop.
They fall off.
Yeah, so it's curved. That's why everything you do scientifically to test that it's curved, it is curved. It's just like a plate upside down sort of thing. You've got a
That one, the Petra height, that's pretty good. Cent measurements, centimeters, they did inches.
Yes. When it gets to the point we go up here, oh, it didn't quite fit, and it's like 13 feet tall. Yes. Yeah.
About what?
Italia modulo basses. Don't know about the basses, but I've definitely played an Italia.
One of the hollow bodies that just said it, hollow body ones, isn't it?
Yes, I've definitely played a couple of the guitar versions.
Yeah.
Hollow body bass with a couple of lipstick pickups mounted parallel to the strings and wired together as one pickup. Made in the same factory as the LTD stuff. I don't know whoever specs LTD guitars though. They're always the frets on them are. You've got a different fretting machine.
It's a ball end they've got on them, isn't it?
It's like a total perfect
sphere.
Yeah, on the end of every fret, whatever machine it is they've got. But I mean,
disconcerting when you're on it though, because you use them, you rub your thumb against it.
Yes,
it's nice though. It's a good feel.
No, I just thought these are the best frets ever.
Yeah.
The one that had to really gutted me was a LTD Viper, which was like a jazz bass crossed with an SG, and I just couldn't deal with the shape of it.
See, I quite fancied one of them too because one of my
heroes, the guitar was amazing.
Yeah, Captain Sensible, that was his guitar for years.
All right,
the Viper. He's now back to a Gibson SG. For those who like Captain Sensible.
ESP was distributed in Japan. If the Earth is flat, why is Australia season opposite?
What?
I think you'd have to be a better flat earther to think of something pure amazing to say about that.
What?
Well, the backs where the trem was not. See, the S series Scott spot there is it's a bad example because it doesn't have a tremolo. But see, if you buy the tremolo version on the underside, where Australia is, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It all ties in. When you go, it's
because
of the tremolo springs. That's why. Amateurs love that Italia stuff. It's high quality and quirky. Yes, I mean, yes. I've been enjoying an awful lot of those the Bucky Rage guitars, the Voxes and Dan Electro and that airline. They're mental. They're mad.
That green bass you've got next door. Oh.
It looks stunning. It's so dirty. I haven't managed to pick it up yet. Sorry if you're watching. But yeah, no, some of them are amazing fun though. I really enjoyed actually that Jedson, which I've given back earlier on. I pointed at it because it was sitting there, but it's not sitting there anymore now. It's a wee Jedson Telecaster that I've set up before for my pal, and he's brought it back for just to change strings. And I think he'd been messing about with the bridge and fixed it. But it was like, see, getting one of those where it's actually been set up properly, when the neck's been wedged in such a way that it avoids the pickup. Do you know, those sort of things were all done. So basically, I just put strings on it, set the height of the bridge, and it was like, this is actually, because I remember like 2 years ago, last time I had it, when you were putting on the, I'd obviously put this, rewired it and stuff, done all that stuff. But it was amazing to get it back, and they can be good. Sorry. 4 parallel lipsticks. The technology today, with photography, you'd think NASA would make up their minds that the Earth looks like from space. It's an oblate, Mr. White. It's an oblate. That's why Australia makes perfect sense.
Yeah. But the plecking, I've not had it. I've actually fancied having it done to one of my guitars. There's a company down in London that you can send your guitar down to, and they pleck your guitar and send it back. I quite fancied it. But if you go to a good luthier, a really good luthier, they can.
Yeah, they can do that.
They can
just from
get it really flat. I've got a guy, Alan Forsyth, that I go to. He's based out in Blantyre. No, not Blantyre. Further away than that. Miles away, Wishaw.
Right.
Way out there. He's a luthier out there, and he's probably one of the best fret jobs. In fact, you've seen it, the one that's on the Yamaha.
All right, your white one.
Yeah. He done the Fender Strat as well, and he got them super flat and really low action and stuff like that. But getting them plecked is a good idea.
I would like to know. I bet you.
It's a couple of £100. I think it costs all in when you've got to ship your guitar down and have it shipped back and stuff.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
But interesting to try it.
I'm too tight.
Some people only have like 4 guitars though. They've got a Strat, they've got a Les Paul, they've got maybe a Telecaster with humbuckers in it, something a bit mad and an acoustic, and that's it. So they just spend money on them, which we would obviously have no problem buying more Ibanez S series because you've entirely justified it by the way it's a hardtail. Totally, yeah.
And it's got 3 pickups because my other hardtail's got 2.
Let's get to it. Look. Are you
FGN, I've got
are you learning this stuff? This
Yeah.
is the stuff that you learn on this channel. That
Yeah.
basically, yeah, justifying having another Ibanez. Is other one's an HH?
The other one's an HH.
It's an HH, and it doesn't, and it's got a trem.
Yeah.
It's an entirely different guitar.
Yeah.
It's totally and it's a different color, so it's entirely worth it having.
This one looks quite nice, doesn't it?
I like it. Yes. It just needs.
It's quite resonant. It's not killed it. Usually when you put a bar top or some fancy top on a guitar, it kills the resonance of the body really.
Yeah, but then you start looking at it's
Yeah.
like you can argue that it makes a difference, but see if it's like less than a millimeter thick.
Yeah.
Is it just like putting lots of paint on?
Well, it
Kinda
kind of is.
thing.
You know what I mean? But any thicker than that, the thing about burls. How do you want to pronounce this?
We pronounce it Burrow, like the Burrow collection in Glasgow. So we roll that R. It's not Burl.
The consistency of them, when they cut it really thin, it's kind of almost spongy. It's not stiff like
Yeah.
wood. So what you've got to do is put something on it to stiffen it, to make it hard and stick to the body and stuff like that. But this one's okay. It's more like a flamed maple with furry bits in it.
We're all on the so we're much deeper in the conversation than we are. We came out of the depth. We're now talking. We're all on a turtle's back.
Who's going to get to decide what's up and what's
And they said something about a spiral pattern, Mr. Right there. Yeah, I don't trust anyone with just 4 guitars. That's just not healthy. Well, I don't know. No, there's a way around it. Like, see Alexander, who I think's probably gone to bed drunk. He's got 4 guitars, and he's only how long you played? 6 months. That's totally fine. You know what I mean? I'm sure you wouldn't have things like that up here. Yeah, I've only played for a year. And he's got like a Telly and an SG and a Les Paul and a Strat.
Which is what you've done.
Exactly, but he's done the thing where he's bought.
I've probably been playing 2 Strats and just ditched a Les Paul. But that's just me.
Yeah, but you need a Les Paul when you're learning to play the guitar. He's only played for a year.
I suppose you've got to know what a bit of furniture feels
No,
like.
yes, you got to know why Les Pauls aren't as good as Strats.
Exactly.
Yeah, but humbuckers are good. Yeah. You don't need to justify. No, but I'm just. Cats. The problem is I'm really, really good at justifying it. It's like, I mean, as I was talking about this bass earlier on, it's like I could easily make. I don't know what percentage-wise it costs a tenner. I mean, see, it's easily worth 60 quid, so I could triple my money, but I like it. Sun, moon, flat earth, no.
High fret. What it does is it's a laser. It's based on a laser. It scans the top of your frets and gets them all completely flat level according to the laser. So it's it picks out all of the inconsistencies in your frets.
Yes,
and gets them
but I mean, my argument again would be: see if you buy a brand new FGN guitar, right?
Yeah.
Is there going to be a noticeable difference between that and what a plec machine does?
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
Because they've not done it with a plec machine, but they've just been pure stupidly accurate.
Aye.
To that.
Well, the thing is with the plec as well, whenever you're doing a fret job on a guitar, you always do an off ramp at the bottom. What you do is you do your bottom few frets lower as you go down.
Yeah,
so you get the action stupidly low.
Yeah.
I wonder if a plec machine does that. It must.
You just program it to do it if that's what you wanted to do. Oh, I wonder, is that how they get the compound radius?
See, if you go onto YouTube when this finishes, go onto YouTube and do a thing for the plec, and it actually shows you how it does it. It's really clever. It's all computerized. They put your guitar on in a machine. And it basically clamps the neck.
That was been funny about Alexander there. Is like saying he's got 4 guitars, but he's only played for a year. It's like he's got 5. He's got acoustic as well. So that was right, pretty much for all the other ones, which was good. So very good. Yes. Yeah, why not? But you've been sensible with them, man.
Is that also the guy? Alexander, the guy who got the Jim Deacon off?
No, that's a different Alex. That's Alex, not Alexander. I mean, I'm calling you Alexander. I can't remember what you actually said, what you introduced yourself as. Yes, but yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the way it goes, Alexander.
You're not drunk yet. He's not drunk yet either. I am. I've been fucking tired of this. I had a surprise visitor earlier on.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Had a knock at the door, 9:30. No one's going to be coming here at 9:30 at night.
I need to get back on the road again.
It's 10:30.
10:30?
It's 10:30. What happened in the news?
I don't know.
Did Scotland not win a game the other night?
We did. We won something. We beat Spain.
Spain? Yeah.
Spain are complaining about it. They're saying we weren't playing football. I'm not sure what we were playing. It looked like.
No, I don't know. Technically, I suppose if you win, it counts now. Try calibrating a plec machine on a ball earth. Maybe that's the trick. Can all be sorted. Stuff out. I get it.
I don't know, how do you get level on a ball? I don't know either.
I don't know. Is anything? I mean, everything's not level, just a wee bit. So basically, it's like you're talking about the level of the circle fretting system, that kind of level, where it's like it is curved. It is, yes.
It's so slight. It's so slight that you notice it until you're in a distance. The flat earther guys that shoot themselves in the foot all the time by doing their experiments, and then they discover, oh wait a minute.
Yes.
Oops.
Yes, there must be another reason.
There must be another reason.
Yes.
There's a hump in the earth there.
Yes. Why can you see the tops of the sails of the ship before you can see the rest of the ship? And why do oil rigs look like they're just sitting on the water when you see them from miles away?
But that's what I think. All flat earthers, they must be like, I don't understand why they've not got together and flung their money together and went and found the edge.
I don't know. Again, it's like, see.
I mean, it must be easy. I mean, jump a bus for Christ's
sake. But the thing is, see,
north,
if you look at
pick a direction and go.
Yeah, have you ever looked out like binoculars over the sea? You can like see from the chalet. You can see it doing that.
Yeah, of course you can.
Because I'm talking with the sucker.
When you're on a plane.
Well, of course, but then it could be the curvature of the glass window you're looking through. I'm talking about when you're actually just looking at it. You're looking at Inverness, which is 7 miles away. You can see it doing that.
You can literally see.
Like over a 7 mile distance, you can pure see it. Like if you get binoculars, because you can focus when you're going through the focus thing. Yeah. It kind of goes. Woo, and it's like, it just does that. Yeah, over 7 mile.
Yeah. 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 Plus that when boats go away, they disappear. Where do they go? If the earth was flat, we'd be able to see the Empire State Building from here. Wouldn't we?
Yes, Cage Paps has given us the solution really to it. If we believe we're on a ball hurtling through space, then general relativity means nothing. It's the same as 1 second to the next. So basically, you might buy more guitars.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Is that?
Yeah, buy more guitars.
It kind of makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy more guitars.
Jimmy Bank didn't need any more stinking plug machines. No. Yeah, that's like.
Oh my god. Where's my joint?
Is it a machine? It's not a joint. It's not. It's just.
You haven't touched yours. I've tried, guys. Don't honestly don't do it. You'll disappear down a hole.
I know, but I've nearly finished my Bucky anyway. So
you have. Well done.
No, it must be getting near 10:30. Okay, it makes a bit of a difference when I get a random. Yeah. A skilled guitars can play any guitar, no matter plec or brand. Yeah. Yeah, sort of.
None of my
kind
guitars
of.
Are pleced.
No. But even then, you can generate a talent for being able to play not very good guitars. I used to be able to do that. If you look
at Stevie Ray Vaughan, he played a guitar that had an action the same as that.
Oh,
and he was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's there. But
yeah. It's all there. So it would just
That was
having a decent guitar helps though.
It's such
Most of the guitars that you come across are set up really, really well. You know what I mean? Professional guitarists, any studios or sessions I've been involved in over the years, and you go to someone else's guitar, they've very rarely got a really high action and really heavy strings. It's all really like my guitar's set up to
yes.
Unless it's a jazzer, and then they've got big, massive strings, but there's fuck all action on their guitars. You know what I mean? It's nothing. So they don't have to put any pressure at all when they're playing. It just a respect for the big thick strings.
If you're employing a guitar tech, you're just going to say, no, because it's kind of fine. I just want to use you if the output jack breaks. No, you're going to go, well, I'm paying you for this tour, so I want that guitar playing like a Formula One car, basically.
It really does.
Obviously.
Yeah. I mean, you've got a guitar like that, it does need a technician to keep moving the neck and stuff as you go through different temperatures and all.
Well,
like
exactly.
That,
Something I don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I just want the guitar to be perfect.
No. Well, you're melting the camps, so you just need to have yours working here.
Yeah, well, that's it. Which it turned out to be really low altitude.
Perfect.
We were talking about a flood the other night and what would happen, and he's higher than I am. Was it 38? Something stupid. 38 feet or 38 meters above sea level. Like, what?
Yeah, I'm up at the top.
Oh, you're 100 and something or 200 something?
See the way Glasgow works? It's like a valley. And inside the valley is Glasgow, and there's the River Clyde that runs through the middle of it. He's on one side of the valley, right at the foot of the hill.
Yeah.
I'm on the other side of the valley at the top of the hill.
Top of the hill that's 3/4 the size of the hill that I'm at the foot of.
Yeah, so if there's any tidal wave activity, he's fucked. I'm okay.
Instantly, but if there's time to worry about it, it was only like about a mile and a half. You could get up there and you could get higher than your house.
Well, if you look how close you are to Helensburgh, how close are you to Helensburgh?
Helensburgh?
Yeah. Just if anything kicks off, nuclear explosion, you're fucked.
No, I'm doing better. I wonder if I could put that as members only.
What's that?
Threads, because I downloaded it off your thing and I tried to put it on YouTube, and YouTube said no. And it's like I've had copyright strikes before, but it's not on YouTube. You can't find it anywhere. The Threads film, because
obviously put it as members as this. Yeah.
Maybe I'll put it as member. I need to watch Threads, and basically don't do it if you're in any way down. No. Watch it when you're in a really good mood, and then appreciate what it's like 3 hours later when you're sitting there going,
"Oh my god,
oh my."
Well, some of you will remember it from the 80s when it was shown live on TV during the week, at a time when kids could watch it.
No.
Because everybody watched it and we were all absolutely terrified, and it was all everybody talked about in school for ages after that was, oh my god, did you see that film? It was terrifying, and it was.
I know. I found it absolutely harrowing. I walked to I took the car up to the shop after watching it, and it was like just looking at everything, going,
well, CND,
so lucky.
It used to be called CND. Their membership went after.
Damn, fucking, I can totally imagine. It's ridiculous. Oh.
Yeah, because we've got the nuclear weapons just down the road. We have. Not just our own. We've got Britain's we've got most of Britain's nuclear arsenal just up the road, and then just further up the road from that, there's a NATO base that's full of American nuclear weapons that are not even controlled. I think we're getting demonetized. Are we? I'm just telling what the geography is. No, it's not far away. This area. Totally get it. He's badly placed because he's at the foot of... No. Honestly, watch Threads, right? And then you'll go, no, you got it right, being dead in the first 30 seconds. When it's like pure, look at that mad light in the sky. What's that noise? Flambéed. That's how you do it. None of this weight. Garnet Valley, probably. Garnet Valley, King Cat's beef. Well, is it Django played with two fingers? Yeah, he changed the subject. Yeah, he was involved in a fire. And he got his hand severely burnt. He apparently put his hand in to get his guitar, but his guitar was so hot it mangled his fingers. Yeah, that might be exaggerated. Yeah, so he only had like his index finger as a whole one and the next one, and it was his other ones were fused, kind of thing. Yeah. It was just really two fingers. Yeah. And we can all be thankful that happened, because Tony Iommi, the day before he went as a professional musician, he got his middle two fingers cut off. Yeah, the tips. Yes. And then he was basically from the hospital, and it was his boss came round, even though he'd left the job because he only had a week to go. That's why he was on a stupid machine. And then his boss was like, up here, listen to this. And it was Django Reinhardt. And it's like, his fingers are more fucked than yours, basically. Yes. So you can play the guitar. And hence, heavy metal was born. I was doing a festival in France, really quaint festival, years ago. With a folk band. I was there with a band called Bellowhead, right? And we were standing on the stage, and they sort of wheeled on this wee old guy from the side of the stage. And he was literally dribbling out his mouth. Really old looking guy. And I was looking, fucking hell, man, what's he doing on stage? He must be a visitor or something like that. So I wheeled him over to the other side of the stage, and he's kind of sitting there, and people are kind of fussing round about him. And out came this violin. And he basically just handed it to him, and he took it, and he's sitting with it, and he's kind of, honestly, the playing that came out of this man was just incredible. He was like a gypsy violin player, and his name was Stefan Grappelli, who was Django Reinhardt's partner. He was his violin. So all the old scratchy records you hear with the violin and the guitar, he's the violin guy. And he was still playing, and he was like so old. He was so old. God knows how he still had the dexterity that he had. It was incredible, because he was still fast and still really agile with the bow, even though he was like ancient as fuck, really old as fuck. But yeah, that's my stuff. There you go. Well, there you go. 3 degrees of separation. What's it like playing for that amount of time? God, I know. I was watching a thing on Deep Purple, and they were talking about being on, after in Rock album, they were on tour for 11 months and then off. Then recording an album for a month, and then on tour for 11 months, and they did that for like 1970, 1970. So it's like, what's that like playing? Maybe not every night of the week, but most nights of the week for 3 hours. You must end up pure amazing. I've only ever got to the stage in a couple of bands where, you know, you go over that hurdle where suddenly you know these songs and you can start putting extra stuff in, and it's kind of... Yeah, but it was really mad to see such an old fella. Yeah, Grappelli. Yeah, Stefan Grappelli. What a guy. I was transfixed. I just couldn't take my eyes off him. I was like, fuck, what? Yeah. So that was a treat. Jennifer's still watching half an hour ago. My God.
Really? God, I'm sorry, Jennifer. I'm sorry. I apologise.
I was only going to stay for 5 minutes and run away again.
Yes. It was funny. I'm glad
was.
you turned up. I'm a wee bit no idea what's going on though, obviously, but yeah.
You've had to take a seat. It's the first time I've seen him taking a seat in a live stream.
Well, I was just thinking if I put the microphone there, I think it's because it's on.
What's going to happen is he's going to end up lying on the floor. As soon as that joint starts to kick in, he's going to be flat out there, and you'll watch him for the rest of the thing when I go.
Yeah. I'll just play bass. We'll survive.
How long?
Despite the likes, I can't believe I keep looking up to
Hold on a
make
minute.
sure.
Let's see what's going on here.
I'm keep looking up to make sure there's still somebody watching.
There's 23 people watching. Hi guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That stayed consistent
How
since
can-
you turned up and we're talking fish.
How can there only be 14 likes if there's 23 people? Who's sitting out there? Who is it?
Oh, somebody didn't like
Put
it.
your hands up. Bastards. Trebuchet list.
Trebuchet list. No, it's quite
People
low
are gonna
down
be
on the
tuning in
trebuchet
going,
list
what
though.
the fuck's going on there now? Is that the polis?
Yeah, there's a bizarre kind of. I'm seeing it much more now. The sort of fisheye lens thing,
Yeah,
which appears to have appeared.
it does because your room looks huge, but when you're in it, it's not
Like,
huge. It's not tiny, but it's not huge.
No, it's tiny.
It's a box room. Is this what you call a box room?
Possibly could be.
Probably slightly bigger than a box room. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's absolutely full of guitars. People have got no idea. You have never seen that corner.
It's only 2 guitars.
Other guitars, but there's a Star Trek. That's how you know he's a Trekkie fan.
Or my wee brothers were throwing that out, and I was like,
Throwing it out?
You're not throwing that out. That is the entirety of the Wrath of Khan done
Yeah.
in cartoon form in 6 panels. All you need to know.
Who did it?
No idea. I assume it was bought off the internet. Oh,
It doesn't let you like it when you dislike. Right enough, Cage Paps, you're right. What do you think?
so I like the stream so much. I hit it twice, which is 1 like, 2 unlike. Perfect. Yeah, totally. So basically, hit that like button an odd number of times is the trick.
They hold that sampling. I don't know if he did he? Because whenever you see him playing live, he plays the most impossible stuff. He had his intonation, his sense of tune and sense of all of that was just that was his thing. See the way he worked on his tremolo arm?
Jeff Beck sampling, you mean?
Yeah,
Oh,
Beck for his guitar playing. The way it sounds, it sounds unnatural when he's playing it. When you see him doing it live,
Yeah.
it does sound unnatural. It's just you can't get your head around it at all. Most guitarists you see watching Jeff Beck are just looking confused most of the time.
Yes.
It's like,
No, it's no. I think he could have. Jeff Beck could have done with a band to be in
what,
that we all know about. Like if he was in Led Zeppelin for 5 years.
What, the Yardbirds maybe? I'm joking.
No, but do you know what I mean? Like if
I
he
do it
did,
like
if
a
he did
modern band.
if he did a 70s band, if he'd
Well,
had
he's-
if he'd been in Stones for a few albums or
Yeah, I
blah
suppose
blah blah, he just doesn't have.
he was a hotshot studio guy though, I suppose.
Well, of course,
He appeared on so many different artists.
that's what I think
records as
actually.
well
The
as
other
his
day,
own stuff.
but he was working with Tina Turner,
Mhm.
and he's the pink. Was it your the picture of the pink
With
Jackson?
a scratched name into
I
it.
was
Yeah.
like, could you sign? He was doing a Tina Turner session. Could you sign it? And then he went away for lunch, and he came back, and she pure scratched it in with a knife.
Tina Turner.
Tina Turner and letters like this right across his.
Have you sat where you are now? Could you take my off those guitars? What?
Disco never died. I like
No,
disco.
I'm a massive disco fan. I've always been a fan of disco. Well, that's what got me into playing the bass, to be honest with you. Yeah. Well, Earth, Wind and Fire. Listen to Earth, Wind and Fire if you've not. Yeah. If you've not listened to Earth, Wind and Fire, get them on. They're amazing.
I think for me it was probably the fact that Staying Alive was an airplane.
Yeah. Well, you get that and you get the Jacksons as well. If you ever listen to them.
And
And Parliament and stuff like that.
Talking of hip hop, noticed that Hendrix even mentioned rapping in one of his songs. But definitely, Arlo Guthrie was at Woodstock. He definitely said I was rapping to the fuzz.
Well, that's what they used to call talking.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
exactly. So, yeah, Hendrix maybe said rapping. I was talking to some cat. People say that at the White Festival. Like some cat.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually a cat, though. It was a human. Yeah.
Box rooms.
Scotty
jumping
Bennett
off
was-
Wendy's. There's a Wendy there. That's the window. I was actually going to bang the window. That was the original plan.
That would have been
Jennifer,
supreme.
yeah, Jennifer wanted me to bang the window, but I thought that might make him jump right out of his fucking skin. So I thought, no, I'm not doing that.
It might make me stop the stream. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, disco. I'm a big disco fan.
Some new firewood guitars.
Yeah. Well, I used to listen. My first favourite band when I was a kid was Ian Dury Blockheads, and they had this amazing. Amazing bass player, and I used to play all this funky stuff and disco stuff. And that's if you listen to them early, those you'll hear some amazing disco bass from that man.
Yeah,
he's still doing some really tasty stuff as an old guy.
You signed my jacket.
Yeah, I've got a banknote or some nomination I don't even know what it is. Signed.
No, it was cool. It was cool. But I've got to the pure.
You've got to do the rest of the thing.
No, I'm dying soon. Sorry, I finished my Bucky.
It's because I got here and gave you a joint.
I know, and then I finished my Bucky. It's like, it's like the Bucky counter which I was talking about at the start. It's like it's done. It's like you can see there, it's gone. I got carried away. So thanks.
Play something from the. You're not giving in. No.
I've got an ending song. Played something by the Pretenders. I don't know the Pretenders.
You're not going to finish it early. You can't do that. Guys, tell. Still need to try something. Have you not tried Buckfast yet?
We all know that the live stream ends when I start feeling sick or I run out of booze. Both. But yeah, you need to try some Buckfast. I mean, there's a sip left, so I'll finish it.
See me, if I were to drink that Buckfast, I would probably be dead. I've got zero tolerance to alcohol.
It's all the lumpy bits,
so
man.
That would be it. That would end me a full bottle of that. I wouldn't be standing. Booze and weed not good for you. I'm a bad influence. It's not that bad either.
It's not, no. You don't try Buckfast. Buckfast tries you.
That's right.
You try yourself.
There's another one in Glasgow called Lanlick, which is a similar thing. It's slightly less strong than Buckfast. Lanlick.
I've never heard of Lanlick before in my life.
It was called Technicolor Yon where I came from.
I've heard you say technical. I've never heard of Lanlick.
Yon, yeah, Lanlick.
Then again,
do any of you guys remember Lanlick? Lanny, a bottle of Lanny. Jamaican stuff you had. What Jamaican stuff?
Well, everyone's wanting me to not stop. Right, hold on. Right.
I know. That's what I say.
I know. I'm just mangled, man.
You need to push through.
I used to push through the whitey.
That story about the little train that could.
Yeah, totally.
Keep going.
So I can't sit down. There's guitars.
That was another one.
LD. There is. No one's ever bought the LD caster. I built one.
God.
El Dorado caster. It's still in.
El Dorado tastes like Buckfast. It's been watered down with
petrol or
something. It's just not as strong as tasting as Buckfast.
No, they've changed it. They've changed it. It's now much more like Bucky. It's kind of like sherry. Yeah, it's not bad. But I remember the first time I was 15% instead of 17.5. I remember trying it one time. We were in.
Sherry was something you used to drink back in the day as well. Old England.
Old English, yeah.
Old English sherry. People used to buy that.
I think that was about the most amount of alcohol you could get in something that cost $1.99.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
For 750ml proper wine bottle of old
sherry.
England
Yeah,
sherry.
It's just so sweet, man.
Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. I mean,
what's the other one that people drink? The whiskey with the honey in it. It's just Glava. Oh my god.
Glava. I drank a bottle of Glava on about 25 live streams because it lasted that long, and then I took it down to.
You put it away.
I took it down to downloads, and it lasted 10 minutes. Everyone was like, "Up here, bang, bang!"
That's
and it was
proper right the juice.
Yes,
because it's got so much sugar in it, and so much alcohol. It's not the caffeine; it's the sugar and alcohol in this one, and it just turns people into wild people.
It tastes nice.
It
is it good? I had a friend who drank cheap sherry. Was it me? I used to drink cheap sherry. Scott Smack, is that mad stuff? Someone sent me a thing on Facebook. It's kind of like some sort of whiskey and wine derivative.
Do you know, one of my pals, he had an old auntie that passed away. God love her. She was actually a lovely old woman, but she was a drinker,
right?
And she used to hide bottles full of like empty bottles all over the house. So into her house after she passed away, up to the loft, and pulled out all these bags of bottles, and that's what it was. It was all of this
Scott Smack,
and aye, so all these things that you'd never heard of before.
Oh, a request for the bangles. White cap LD.
Yeah.
White cap LD.
He's having trouble standing just now. Play the
Yeah,
bangles. Play the bangles.
Well, if you can play, I can play along with it.
I can't play the bangles either.
Well, there's your excuse. It's not the Bucky. The Bucky's fine. I'm handling it. You know what I mean?
No.
I drink cheap cider.
MD 2020. God.
MD 2020. If you remember my last house, it was
sugar in it.
I used to like the green one.
Right, I'm going to roll a joint, mate, and then I'll run away and leave you to do the rest of your.
Yeah, right. I
can't play the bangles because he's spangled exactly.
50-50 red wine and Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
That's only got half the percentage of alcohol that the red wine had. That doesn't get you to your required 15% of Bucky, which is more.
It's a pity we don't have more room. They'd make him do the police thing where he walks the line and touches his nose and stuff because he'd fall about all over the place. It'd be hilarious. No, don't. Joking.
Yeah, no. What you don't, if you got to remember, is Bucky gives you overconfidence as well. So it's like I can fucking do that.
No, you cannot.
What, walk on a scaffolding pole between two buildings? Aye,
easy.
He's a shot of that. And if not, I'll beat shit out of scaffolding pole.
Oh my god. See, as a roadie, I used to work with a Scottish crew, and every single one of them drank Buckfast like it was going out of fashion, and it was just madness would ensue. And I'd be the only person who was completely sober through it all. And I'd still be there though.
I'm confused.
Well, do you know that's one of the surprises that always comes up because I talk about all these mad things that have happened. Like, I didn't want to go there yet, but mad things would happen. Then they'd come and be like, "You were there," and they'd be like, "And you weren't drunk, were you?" No.
Did that happen?
And you were there, and you never stopped us. No. No, but you were joining in.
That's we're funny.
I was at the back pushing you forward into danger. Yeah.
That's Mr. Whiteside, you never lost the tone. I'm over 50. Is it possible to find tone?
I'm over 50. I'm 53.
You can find the tone.
I'm tone. I'm solid tone.
Solid tone.
Aye.
That's solid.
Cut me in half. It's tone all the way through.
Yes. Yes. You were commenting on it. In fact, it was last night. You were up, not in the stream. We were playing the Falcon with its Tonewood trusswood cover. Obviously, the Tonewood trusswood cover and the Tonewood cavity cover.
Yeah,
all the tone.
Yeah. Well, that wee guitar you were playing today, the multiply one. How many bits of tone wood is that? All stuck together. That's all the tone.
It's all the tone. It's nine. It's 9 distinct flavors of tone, all played into that.
Sandwiched and condensed into a small slab. So
yes.
How much tone has that guitar got?
Really? All the tone. The front had even been sanded as well to let the tone out.
Yeah.
Yes, that was good.
Right, nobody's allowed to phone the police. I'm allowed to do this, right? You shut up.
The kiwi and lemon. The kiwi and lemon was the one. Any given cheap, strong white cider.
Hamza Youssef doesn't like the Bucky. He doesn't. You're right.
You don't have to like the Bucky, but I mean,
do you know what? There was actually.
I don't mind people who just don't like the Bucky, but it's like, you see, if you've not tried the Bucky and you have had the opportunity to try the Bucky, you got to try the Bucky.
Yeah.
And having a little sip and not liking it when you were pissed doesn't count.
Well,
you don't have to buy a whole bottle, buy a half bottle.
Right,
try drinking it one night. You don't like it.
See, we'll call it the economically depressed areas of Scotland. We'll call them some of the wee towns and villages round about Glasgow. Well, there was a few of them got together and they actually put a big campaign together because one of the problems they had with Buckfast was that all the people were drinking it on the streets and throwing the bottles away, smashing them, and getting cut and stuff like that. So they petitioned Buckfast Abbey to repackage their product and put it in plastic bottles, and they refused because it was ruining the aesthetic.
I'm not comfortable.
Fuck the ways. Let them get cut.
I want to BBC your ass and hit them when you can't say things that are anti-Buckfast. Why?
It's not anti-Buckfast.
It's a little bit anti-Buckfast.
It's not the Buckfast.
I want to give both sides of the story. And
it should be in a plastic.
The Buckfast poker series, my pal Peg decided he wanted to start, and he just wrote to Buckfast and said, "I want to start a Buckfast poker series website," which was basically just.
Do you know, I remember being a kid,
and they were really cool. And they said, as long as you drink it responsibly, you can use the domain name.
Buckfast has been a thing in Glasgow for decades.
Yes.
Even when I was a wee tiny child, it was a funny thing. It was a thing everybody did, Buckfast. In fact, we went on a family holiday to Cornwall one year and we went to Buckfast Abbey as part of the whole trip. And there's photographs of me sitting on the wall of Buckfast Abbey with bottles of Buckfast. And I remember my dad and all that laughing and joking. And I was wondering, why is this so funny? Why are they all laughing? And it was because I was sitting on a wall with Buckfast. But we've got earthenware bottles of Buckfast in my
I've
loft.
got one somewhere. I remember finding when I moved up here. I found a wee pot,
Earthenware.
a wee earthenware. It looks like things you get in Zelda that have got potions in them.
No, these are.
No, this is a wee fucking thing that size. A wee
Big
pot.
earthenware bottles of Buckfast. God knows what that's like. Imagine that. It's going to be well matured.
London calling. Oh, Joachim's going to London next weekend.
Scott Toad trademark. That's exactly right.
Scott-Toad.
Yusuf doesn't like lots of things he does. Yusuf, I'm really glad he got picked. He's an excellent choice.
Oh, right. Oh, is that the guy from...
That was the guy I was voting for.
All right.
Pollock.
Ah.
He's from Pollock.
Cage perhaps knew someone who used to mix his Bucky with milk. Yes.
Oh.
I knew someone who tried that. Or someone who knew someone that did that and then did it one weekend and said it was great. And I was like, I wasn't willing to do it. Basically, you drink the neck out of it and then you top it up with milk.
Well,
and give it a shake. And I was like, right, I'll chip in with you for the milk.
Yeah.
But like, see, when you do it, I want to have a wee sip of it. And it was like, immediately inside myself, I could feel milk floating to the top, Bucky going to the bottom. Oil layer, and that's not a pleasant thing.
No,
so I didn't do it.
See, when I was a kid, I used to live in a place called Govan, a quaint fishing village by the...
Where Rabsy Nesbitt come from?
I used to live in Govan, and we used to get the bus to school in the morning. And I remember we used to stand in Govan Cross, and it was like a wee corner shop there. And they used to see the alcoholics going in the morning, and they would buy a bottle of milk and a bottle of Harmony hairspray. Or Cossack, whatever the one they had. It was always Harmony or Cossack, which gold or red cans they had.
Right.
And they'd go outside and they'd literally just pour the top of the milk out and then spray the whole can of hair lacquer into the milk and drink it. And we used to stand at the bus stop going, fuck's sake, man. What the fuck?
Was that like...
Well, it was alcohol. It was alcohol. They used to get alcohol out of the hair lacquer and in the milk.
Right, I don't think that's not like a sort of sniffing glue type chemical high. No, that's
it's pure alcohol, dunt. So they would all fall about pissed very quickly after.
Oh, that's a bit different, man.
Yeah.
Can't hang with drunks. No, well, there's drunks and there's drunks. Hope that's not your way, Pontiac. Love you.
It's pure. It's Pontiac going.
Yeah, I can't hang with drunks. Sounds like he's pretty funny. You're not drunk.
I don't drink.
You can't be.
I'm completely teetotal.
I'll admit to having had a bottle of Bucky, but that's only a bottle of wine. Okay, it's 15% wine, so it's slightly more than a bottle of wine.
Caffeine in it.
Yeah, but that's why I'm still awake. That's how it works.
Who else? What was it?
The subject of drinking, not the Buckfast.
Top up with a can of sort of God.
Can of Strongbow, make it laugh. Well, no, but I mean, Big Peg, you're talking about exactly the sort of alcohol limit that I'm talking about, whereas I would have a bottle of Bucky and a can of Strongbow. The bottle of Bucky would be, depending on how excited I got, finished by 10 o'clock, maybe finished by 11 o'clock, maybe finished by midnight, and then for the rest of the night, I had a can of Strongbow to sip. That's basically what you're doing. You're just making it.
The drink of students in Glasgow was Strongbow and blackcurrant, wasn't it? Cider
Diesel.
Diesel.
No, Diesel was
lager, cider, and blackcurrant.
Lager, cider, and blackcurrant. And the last time
that
I
was
had
the
that,
thing we used to all drink as students. It was hilarious. I used to share a flat with like 10 people as a student. All in bands, all with long hair, and lots of them used to drink this Diesel.
Yeah, Diesel. I
remember
Diesel.
One night they'd been out somewhere and they'd come back in again, and one of them had ran into the toilet and was literally thrown up down the toilet, and then another one came in behind them and was nowhere, and they literally threw up over the back of his head. But he'd been drinking the Diesel. So it was like purple stuff that he threw up all over the back.
100% pink.
And you know, he actually dyed the guy's hair pink, and it was pink for weeks. It was brilliant. It was great. Looking at him like, how did you get pink hair? And threw up on me.
Last time I was in Strathclyde Union, which I think my student card must have still worked. I got Diesel because I used to drink it, and I think we'd maybe had a pint, so I wasn't drunk, right? And I drank Diesel, and I ran. I was like, up here. Oh, I'm feeling a little bit sick. I'm going to the toilet, and I walked across the other side of the stairwell, and it became, oh my god, you need to go right now.
Yeah.
No, right now. I ran in, and I kind of projectile spewed all over where the urinals were, and it was coming down the well. And then the thing was, I felt absolutely fine, but I couldn't hold another 5 seconds to get to a toilet. Puked all over the wall, and then I suddenly felt fine. Looked at myself in the mirror, kind of got up here right, and then I heard someone coming in the out. It's like it was obviously like a two-way door. First door went. I was like, right, fuck it, went out. So the guy opened the door, and then I just left, and all I heard was, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" Because basically it was an entire pint, gone over 6 feet, kind of obviously must have just all been coming down in bubbles and stuff like
It's
that.
the colour.
But that was purely the taste.
It's the way it keeps the
But I
colour.
wasn't drunk at the time, so
Oh.
it was like, it was basically, I downed half a pint of this shit.
It's the colour of it when it's coming back up again. That unmistakable purple.
Strongbow Black.
Yeah.
I remember Strongbow. It wasn't called Strongbow Black. It was called Strongbow Super. And it was like, no, that wasn't Strongbow. It was Kestrel Super I'm thinking of.
Do you know, that was one of my early dalliances with alcohol, and it was awful. One of the things that probably put me off. Somebody
Kestrel Soup.
No, they said, we'll get you some cans of lager. And I was like 17 or something at that point. 16, 17. I thought, fuck it, yeah, just get some cans of lager. And they went and bought super lager.
Oh.
And they turned up and they poured it into the glass, and they're all drinking it too. And they're like, this is fucking horrible. And I took like a glass of it, and that was enough. I was fucked. I tried to get out of a car while it was moving down the road because I thought it stopped, and like holding on to me.
No. My first ever can of lager was Kestrel. It was Kestrel. But the thing is, see, Kestrel, I take it you don't get it anymore. But see, Kestrel tastes nice. No, genuine. You could drink it. It's only but it's only 2.5% or something.
I've never tasted a lager or a beer.
No,
it's just me.
No. I've never tasted a beer I like. But see, Kestrel, it's actually, because it's dead subtle. It's only half the percentage. Yeah. It's actually nice,
drinkable.
Yeah, I remember getting it.
I couldn't even drink
because I used to work in the co-op. I used to go out to date. We'd buy 12 packs for like a $5 and stuff, and you drink it. Okay, you have to drink 2 cans to get the same effect. No, but it tastes nice, man.
I didn't even drink. I didn't even like shandy. In fact, they used to give me shandy as a kid because they used to laugh at me spitting it out because I was so funny at it.
Yeah, but there's a different. You're talking about shandy.
The taste.
That's shandy made with beer, but the shandy, was it top can or top deck?
The taste of lager I hated for some reason.
No, it's quite nice.
God, man.
Schweppes shandy's good.
Thank God.
Oh, Skull was another one. Tegan, you're exactly right. I remember getting Skull because it was going out of date and nobody wanted it.
For that. The adverts was the wee guy, wasn't it?
Skull.
Haggle the Horrible.
Yes, no, Skull was great. Still get Kestrel, but weak like Skull.
Skull,
yeah, but it tastes nice. And it's like, if you're sitting there, you're out in the boat or at a festival or something, yeah, you don't need alcohol. You need to have enjoyment, and it tastes like beer. It's got alcohol in it, so you get the kick. It's just you have to drink 2 of them as opposed to 1.
Yeah, I can't.
Not good for pissing.
No, I'm not good at drinking. Terrible at it.
If I wanted water, I'd ask for water.
Yeah, even Skull.
Okay, it's called the Coronation. I don't know the Coronation.
Still get Skull in Belfast. God, yeah.
Is all of? I mean, that's Yoakum asking. He's coming to London next week. There's a coronation apparently of King Charles.
Oh yeah, well apparently nobody wants to play it though. He's not having much fun, much time. I hate the way that they're forcing it on the public. They really are.
I've not even heard anything about it until tonight, so they're not forcing it on me. I don't watch TV though.
They were given the option to have like a dialed down version because that was more fitting to what was going on in the economy with the cost of living crisis and all of that.
Right, they've got no maximum.
Thought maybe we should tone it down a bit rather than, and he said no, maximum. So it's maximum everything. So they've just sent out a whole load of posters and stuff like that. All schools have to put up nationally now. They've got to put up a picture of the king. It's like it's fucking 1800 or something.
Like it's Game of Thrones.
Fucking king. What? Trebuchet. Sorry.
The stubby French lagers. I remember them. They were awesome because they never got flat. The wee 250ml. That's all drinking things because they're actually pleasant to drink.
Well, that was.
I've never enjoyed a can of Tennent's for fuck's sake.
That was those wee bottles I got at that time. The Super Bock, which maybe you've heard of them. I don't know where they come from. Super Bock. Super Bock is what I call them.
They still get Skull in corner shops. I don't know. The problem is it doesn't.
I used to live in a fancy bit of London. I had a flat down there, and on the corner shop had a Buckfast refrigerator that was full of Buckfast. Like it was a fancy schmancy thing down there, not like it was fucking.
But listen, see, to be totally honest, we know, us Bucky drinkers know that if that was in Glasgow,
but they've got like
we would have made the pilgrimage to
really
go
funny.
And see it. If that was in Glasgow, I would have known about it and I would have done a video going to the place that has a Bucky
why
fridge.
I didn't take a photograph of it at the time. So I used to laugh at it every time I went in because they had a Pim's refrigerator, a Buckfast refrigerator, then a champagne one.
You didn't know me and how important Buckfast is.
All these fancy drinks.
Buckfast is fancy. It is.
Yeah, because I knew loads of Glasgow people down there and they used to go to that shop that I was talking about for the Buckfast refrigerated.
Where in London?
Morden. A place called Morden.
No, but if you're in London,
yeah.
Actually, Yoakum, if you go to the Carling Academy, there is a shop that sells Bucky immediately across the road. Hold on, this telly's going to turn off, and then everything will go haywire if I don't touch a button. It's all right. Sorted.
No, well, I've went out of focus and my glasses aren't working.
No, it's not the telly that's going out of focus.
Is it?
No, it's fine.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. I can see it. I think Super Buck is Portuguese. Possibly.
Possibly.
Cold Bucky Animals Kit Kats. I may disagree with you on Telecasters.
Why?
But cold, but I agree with you. I mean, I'm just one of those cultured gents who's like red
Cold
wine
Buck,
should be
yeah.
served at room temperature. Room temperature Bucky.
Well,
That's where
I
it
do know a guy
It's
down
not unpleasant having chilled Bucky. It's
I've
not. I
got
mean, it's
that-
not horrible.
yeah.
Oh no, I'm not buying it. It's chilled.
Yeah. Got like a family friend, guy Danny, and he decants Buckfast into a decanter and actually drinks it from like it's a fancy fucking sherry. Crazy bastard, but yeah.
Yes.
But I think people think it is when they're visiting. They think, oh, he must be drinking sherry, but no, he's getting tanked up on Bucky.
Yeah, but Bucky's good.
Yes, it's right throughout society in Scotland. It's a thing.
You're from Belfast and Bucky's popular there. But
Yeah,
you
totally.
get. I bet you get. Oh, how do I get you to send me a postcard with
To be
it?
honest with you,
Bucket.
yeah,
We've lost the bottle. I've thrown it away.
Ireland is a lot like Scotland. So
No idea what it is. That's the same place.
Yeah,
Okay,
Buckfast.
yeah.
Get it everywhere.
But the Irish have an extra label there. It is there. I'm looking for my empty bottle. The Irish ones has got an extra label here. Oh my god, I would love it if you could send me like an envelope with
That one.
that label, the one that we never ever get. We've just got the label on the front, the label on the back. The Northern Irish have a.
You can still get to Northern Ireland without a passport, you know.
Yeah, but it seems enough. It's quite a bit more difficult
It's a bit of a
to
job,
get a bottle of
yeah.
Bucky
And it's
from a
that-
live stream
yeah.
from there when I can just go literally 500 yards up the
Yeah,
road.
it's a bit fucked over there just now. The British government have utterly fucked up the Good Friday Agreement, and everybody's
Oh, we're getting political, but
bastards,"
yes,
quite
I
rightly.
know, it's
But
terrible. But there's more. I
Yeah.
don't know. See, this is the problem. See, when it's coming in, when you start talking pish. I remember being up camping with my pal Richie, and I kept saying, "I'm fucking in a massive can of lager." It was like twice the size of it, like that wide, and I kept saying massive can, and every time I said it, he laughed. So I kept saying it,
massive.
and I kept it for ages, and I nearly got beaten up by a couple other folk who were just going, "You have to stop saying massive can." The problem was, every time I said it, Richie laughed. So it became a thing that I kept saying over and over, and it was like, yeah. This is kind of, there's still people watching, which is ridiculous.
Still 26 people, 19 likes though.
I'm so cultured. I let my Bucky breathe for 10 minutes after a tan. Well, that's
Well, one of the things I've noticed about him is he takes the lid off the Buckfast, takes a drink, and puts it immediately back on and tightens it.
yes. It's like a slowing down system. I mean, that's that you don't know if someone's going to attack
Put
you
it
or
down
something.
again.
Someone might knock on the door. It's like,
Every single time you take a drink, that's what you do.
yes.
Bang.
And I like listening to records.
Most of
Rather
the
than
people I know, they
CDs,
sit with it
'cause the
open,
records
just
you have to
hold it by
open
the
the-
neck.
Open the sleeve, put the record on, put the thing
Oh,
on.
you've got, oh, it's 21 now. It's jumped up.
26. It's 26. No, it's still only 21.
21, yeah. Doing okay though. You've been on for 3 hours. And how long did that wait? Well, how long were you on for when I got here?
There's Bucky close to Abbey Road. Thanks for advice. I know the area. I would take a chance. You have to go to Abbey Road though, obviously. And if you go to Abbey Road, it's the
See if you go to the
south end. It's
Yeah.
right at the end of Abbey Road, the bit where the zebra crossing. It's like Abbey Road's only another
See?
20 yards long
We're
past
all
that.
fuzzy. Told you.
You know, fuzzy.
Told you.
See, I'm not sure whether the fuzziness is in my eyes. I think it's quite sharp.
Is it?
Isn't it? I can't really move I probably could move the camera, but I mean,
Yeah, well, see if you're going to London, what to do is look for the kind of off licenses that we'd probably call that aren't the premier off licenses. Don't go to a fancy one because you'll not likely get it in a really fancy one. If you go to a middle of the road common
yeah,
off license, one of the ones that you can walk in and they've got a selection, they'll very likely have Buckfast.
yes. Or see if you see anybody down there, right, who sounds like me or Scott, right,
Glaswegian or Scottish
at all, right?
Where
You
do
can
get
just if
Buckfast?
you hear them talking, just say, "Hey, mate, is there anywhere near here I can get Bucky?" They will know.
They'll know.
They might not drink.
Yeah, even
But
I
they
knew,
will-
and I was a non-drinker. I could
That's
have
it.
told many people, but
They
everywhere
will
I
know.
go, I see it. I go the fucking
Yes,
Buckfast.
I remember I went a stag weekend to Newcastle, which is in a different country. That's in England.
Yeah.
And we were walking down the road, and we were heard there was the shop that sells Buckies down this bit near the docks. We were going down the hill, and we were this is kind of looking a bit industrial. This can't be the right area. And we shouted across the road to a chap who was walking on the other side. I was up here. "Excuse me, mate." And the guy went, Yeah, man, the Bucky shop's just down there on the left. But he wasn't Scottish. He, in a Newcastle accent, a proper Geordie. So yeah, it's down there because it's like basically anyone walking down that street and asks anyone in a Scottish accent, "Oh, that Bucky's in that shop." I never heard what you said, but I know you're saying the shop that sells Bucky's down there.
But London's
It's
probably
there.
the same. Look for a Scottish
It's
person. Or
there.
just go to a lower market, not a top range, but you'll get it okay.
It's there. It's on.
So it's there.
The shop that was there in 1999 was called House of Booze on Abbey Road, but it's about a mile from the zebra crossing. Because we were drinking the Bucky, we were on Abbey Road. We've started at the wrong end, the north end.
See me walk up that, the amount of mentions there are everywhere you look.
That's everywhere,
People
yes.
just write their name, whatever they find.
Yes, but we started at the wrong end of Abbey Road.
You walk for miles.
And then we were sitting there and it was absolutely pissing down in dark. And it was a case of, we didn't have any money because we were all like 18. And up here, and it was like, all right, good, can we buy an umbrella? And it was like, there was a bit of shops on the right, and one of them was called House of Booze, and it was like,
no, let's go buy something.
I think a shop called House of Booze might sell Bucky, and it did. So we, instead of getting an umbrella, we just got soaked and drank Bucky, which was better. 8 tracks. Tesco's are not bad for booze. They don't sell Bucky. Tesco's.
No,
they're a bad one.
Yeah, but anybody else, it's quite easy to get, quite easy to find.
Self-driving cars will end speeding and drunk driving accidents.
Yeah, hopefully.
But they've got to give you the option to override it, don't they?
Do you know that's a fact? Mr. White's needs to come up with a fact there. Colour vinyl records do indeed sound terrible. I've never had a
cool, but there's
sounding picture disc. They do lost tone and there's not as much.
No, they're definitely not as good.
No, not as good.
No, that's about. I didn't have much of an option with that Baby Metal record, which I'm still pissed off about. But it's like black and white vinyl, and it's like it feels like see if you just put your thumbnail in it and gave it a good squash, I'm sure you could just put a groove in it. It's like there is a point where there was no other option though.
Drove him past out Cotswold.
Tried Harrods for Bucky. Ed Yoakum, Bucky advices will keep him going. Got a bit of Irish heritage from 1800, might not be up this time. You'll find Bucky.
Toned vinyl, black records sound darker.
Oh, man, fucking hell.
Okay.
Actually, she probably shouldn't be in tight focus, so Vaseline the lens. Yes, we are getting a bit old there.
Oh yeah, I went through
I was so tempted by that guitar you pointed out the other night. I talked about it, the green Sparkle RG, the one in Cumbernauld. Remember I showed you when we were up at your house? It was up here. I was up here sitting there, no, I'm not going to buy it, but I'll wait and see if it's there tomorrow, because if it's still there after a day, you can start thinking, I might get 20 quid off that, and it looked awfully good.
Well, yeah, I remember when I was a kid, like 12 or 13, I was buying picture discs, and then I suddenly realised they were terrible. Try listening to, and it was like really noisy, shit quality records, and then you got one of the standard black weighted vinyl, a decent record, and it was a world of difference. I'm
not sure it works the same way with coloured ones. Like I think you can get.
It depends on the kind of vinyl they use.
Yes, I think it's possible. I see when you get this up. No,
the problem with those ones is it's a sandwich and there's a bit of paper in the middle, isn't there?
Yeah. Oh, the picture discs are totally yes. Oh, picture discs are
it's a much
well
thinner.
But again, it's like I've got a Black Sabbath Headless Cross picture disc, and it's like it doesn't have a sleeve. And it's like, can it not have a sleeve as well?
Yeah.
Can we not just have, because it came out on record, so can we not just have the sleeve and the picture disc? And see, when you pack it originally, put the picture disc on the outside, but still have a sleeve to keep it in.
I was really stupid and bought the Iron Maiden Peace of Mind album just as it came out on picture disc. It was terrible sound.
Yeah, of course it is.
On the record press.
But even worse for Iron Maiden, because Iron Maiden were famous for their mastering technique. I remember buying, was it Matter of Life of Death?
Yeah.
The double album, and managed to get, was it normally 23 minutes out of side? They managed to get 26 minutes out of side of vinyl by squishing the grooves. So the more you squish it, the less chance of it not skipping and sounding good are. You're just kind of, but I'm pretty sure Matter of Life and Death was like the longest double album ever made.
But yeah, many 180-gram records are not scamming. What? No, they're very light. Well, you find that, see when you're buying vintage records, like you go and you find the old pop records and stuff, and you take them out of sleeves, you can feel some of them are like literally wafers.
Yes.
Really thin, and then you pull out a heavy weighted vinyl, and it's more likely to be okay in it.
Yeah, I'm not happy with the new Baby Metal album, I'll be honest.
That's a bit of a rip-off, isn't it? You think there's no cover art? It's a clear plastic cover.
The thing is that the actual cover art on the actual albums, the other albums, the first three, there's not that much on it, but it's like it's a brilliant picture, but there's like fuck all there, but it's like it's pure. Yes, it's this big, and it kind of works in a good, the bad, the ugly type way, where you've just got like a art with a couple of shadows. It's fucking great, and then you get nothing. Bastards.
Yeah, Iron Maiden record sleeves are amazing. I'm still raging that I bought that, and I don't even have it anymore. In fact, I hated it that much I gave it away to one of my pals. It's like, what record? Take it. Have it. I should probably have kept it. It's probably worth money. I gave away all my Kiss records because I thought they were shit as well.
Because they Kiss on them, yeah.
Kiss on them.
I thought they recorded something other than Kiss on them.
I had like singles that had like moving bits and stuff on them, and I just gave them all away, and I bet you they're worth loads of money.
I bet you they are. I was always a bit of a going for that sort of thing. Like I had to get Led Zeppelin 3 with the turning wheel behind it, and
I went to see the Lick It Up tour. It was Lick It Up tour. I went to see her.
It was
the first one I saw, and it was in the Apollo.
Wow.
And that was the first plectrum I ever caught at a gig, was Gene Simmons's, and it was brilliant. So I just put my hand up, and it just landed right in the middle of my hand, and I just clenched it. But what I'd done was quite sneaky. I just looked at the ground as if I hadn't caught it.
Very clever.
So everybody around about me is on their hands and knees trying to find this plectrum that I'm just very quietly putting in my pocket. Gene Simmons plectrum. Gave it away. Because it's a kids band, isn't it? How many enemies have I made? How many Kiss fans are out there that I'm offending?
I don't know. The audio's a bit quiet. I know it's because the mic stands.
Yeah.
Sit closer to it.
I'm really quiet. He's really loud usually.
I'm really drunk.
You're drunk.
Yeah.
You don't even look drunk. Do you feel drunk? Yeah.
Yeah, jeez.
I'm fine.
What, we're doing a live stream? I forgot.
I've got to drive all the way to East Kilbride now. Yeah. Well, do you know, I liked Kiss when I was a kid, but yeah.
Squishing the Goose Lowers Fidelity, yeah. 180 grams Tonewood, yeah. Kiss always put Kiss songs in the records and consider it cunts. Yeah, but I mean,
bastards.
I actually thoroughly enjoyed Kiss when I saw them at Download, but we didn't stay for the whole set. Basically, they played a few songs that I kind of heard, and then they did the bit. They played Love Gun going over the top of me on a zip line, and then played I Was Made for Loving You, Baby.
I think they were aimed at kind of teenagers. But I think you can't really be a pensioner and still trying to appeal to teenagers.
No, but some people pure hate him. But I understand that if you were.
He has a giant bell end. If you see anything that he's involved in, he's a complete bell end. He went and spoke to Carol Kay, who's an absolute fucking genius of a woman. She's like probably one of the most recorded bass players in the history of recording bass.
Good Vibrations girl.
Yeah. But she also plays the guitar as well. She's a fucking virtuoso. She's amazing. But he went to see her and started giving it, look at me, and she totally schooled him. It was brilliant. Stopped him. Stop that. You tried doing this, you tried doing that, and he's just sitting there like a big fucking idiot.
No, but it's...
can he play the bass, can you? He's like, no, really.
It's amazing to see, though. But if anyone's thinking... I mean, I saw a thing about backing tracks earlier on. It's like Motley Crue famously had backing tracks that wasn't backing tracks for the bass when I saw Kiss.
No.
Because no backing track would have that bass on it.
It was like... It was really bad.
It was. Yeah. It was like... I've never played the guitar before, but it's like I've been playing the bass for 6 months. Yeah. Watch this. That was what Gene Simmons was like. So it was like he was playing. Well, you've only played for 6 months, and we're having a bit of a jam. Yeah, totally. That's pretty good, man. That's what he was. But after how'd you manage to maintain that after 50 years of touring?
Yeah, Paul Stanley's an okay guitarist. You know what I mean? There's his wee guitar bit. His kind of rhythm playing's all right. You know what I mean? He's quite funky and all of that.
He's quite a front man.
I don't know why they just didn't.
I didn't realise. I've heard a lot of people take the piss out of him. When he goes up here, hello, we're here to rock you, and it's like I've heard that so many times as a parody. I didn't realise that's what he actually sounded like.
So cheesy. There's not enough toast in this world for the amount of cheese.
Tom Petty, he's had to cheer him for. Tom Petty was amazing.
Yeah, big fan of that.
So I've got
Steely Dan, Joe Harder, Frank Zappa.
Did someone say the right statement?
Can't take you anywhere, Mr. Whitesnake. Kiss isn't Aldridge. Which part isn't?
So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
I can't take him anywhere, Mr. White.
No.
Jesus.
Changing the subject. What's that? Seen Petty with Dylan in '85. Yeah. God.
No. If ever there was an ending statement for any part of argument, it's like, well, Steely Dan hit you hard.
Petty and Dylan, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it? What a gig that would have been.
Petty and Dylan.
Wow. Wow. Do you know, I went and seen Elton John playing with, what's his face? The other wee piano American guy.
Billy Joel.
I saw
them
playing together.
See, when you said that, there's the other
terrible.
wee guy playing the piano, American guy. It's like, there was no
my
way it wasn't
God.
Billy Joel.
Saw them at Ibrox. It was terrible.
I saw Elton John. You know, if I went
Do you
to
know I
see
was a
them.
fan of Elton John and I was a fan of Billy Joel independently, but they got together and it was like karaoke or something. It was really funny because they hadn't really sold it out, so the audience was in a kind of a tight knot, a big knot, and it kind of filled about half of the stadium. But a lot of the old women were sitting in the stands, right, waiting for their jam to come on, but their jam was like 200 yards away. And their jam would come on and they get up and they'd start dancing and running and dancing. I swear to God, they'd like stop halfway and just put their drinks down and dance around their handbags because they couldn't make it. It was hilarious. It was. But anyway, Paul Simon. Yeah,
that's why that's why I'm struggling to listen to you or speak.
Yeah, you're losing it.
I'm losing it.
Oh dear.
I've lost it, and the Red Bull's not picking me up.
No, oh
It's like Paul Simon.
Try some more of that joint. That might help. Who thinks he should try some more of the joint?
John Bonamassa. I think he's funny. I like the guy, but I can't listen to his music. No, I can listen to it, but I don't want to listen to it.
Get it smoked, see?
Stop being funny.
Look.
Stop being inappropriate.
More people are watching as well. Come on. I'll keep them happy if you have to go and be sick. Don't worry.
What a bizarre turn of events.
It'd be quite funny if I had to end the stream because he was away having a whitey.
No, I'm all right. I'm surviving that, man.
Ah, dear.
Oh,
Water bong, now there's an idea.
I
could turn a Bucky bottle into a bong. You want to try that?
No, but see,
Who thinks Malcolm should try a water bong made out of a Bucky bottle? Hit the lights if you want to see that.
No.
You see the lights jump up
No,
suddenly.
I can't do that. Just Jesus, no. God, anyway. That is going to be an
bong
awesome.
in the bath. You want a bath? Can we move that camera?
I did that. Do you know I was working as a house moving?
Herb's peer pressure, yeah. And I'm just actually sitting next to him smoking a blunt, so it's probably fucking him up quite a lot, actually. Second hand, fucking him up. Yeah.
I went to one time I was working as a house mover guy. It was like me and it was two, I don't know, 18-year-old guys.
5,000 sub special, hot box the room. I'm for that.
Yeah, okay.
I'm for that.
I'm trying to bring it back to air.
I've been off nicotine for the last 10 days. I've been using juice. What is it they call it? Vapes.
Vapes.
Yeah, I'm stopping.
I saw them tonight.
I'm trying to stop smoking. 5,000 subs. No, start smoking. No.
Oh, dear. Oh man, I can't even remember what I was going to say a minute ago.
You were going to smoke a joint.
No, it wasn't.
Not. Wasn't it?
Definitely not that. My God.
No, I'm not going to peer pressure. Smoking weed.
You're in the room. I'm here.
Are you still here?
I'm still here.
Aye.
Someone said, "Are you here?"
Are you? Going to give us a song, isn't it? What song are you going to play for us? What was the best band I take for?
That's a good question. There you go.
God.
The Rolling Stones are the best band in the world, so there you go.
No. God, it's a difficult one, that, because there's so many fucking good ones. What was my favourite? I don't know. No, I don't know, though. It's a hard question to answer that one, because there was so many, do you know what I mean? And they were all brilliant. Who was the worst? Fucking, what was her name that fired us and sent us all home from Germany? Because there was a fight. Elaine Page went to sue her for her money. Elaine Page is a cunt. There was a fight. One of our road staff got into a fight with one of her dancers in a hotel room. An actual fight, right? Two males, gay males, but they had a falling out. And when burly men fall out, they fall out, right? So they absolutely fucked up this room altogether and fucked themselves up in the process, which put actually both of them out of work. But she fired the whole crew. Fired! Get out! And we had to all fly home. Shit. So there you go.
There you go, yeah.
Not working with any bands now. Fuck that shit. Too old for that shit. Look. See? That's real. Yeah.
Oh, somebody requested that a minute ago.
What?
This.
What for?
That you're right. You've not had your weekly talk about how good that red
It's
Ibanez
fucking
is.
great, this guitar, by the way. I'll second.
It's not with me that says it, yeah. And I'm not going to deny the fact that I wanted it more when you were up here 10 out of 10 after playing it for a half a second. I was like, I was thinking of keeping it. Now, the strings are ancient, man.
Well, it's like the best Strat you've ever played, really. Let's see if you're into old Strats. And I've played lots and lots and lots of old Strats, and that's better than any of the old Strats I've played. What's that? What was the lead tech for Steely Dan? Fuck knows. I don't know.
Scott was the lead tech.
Scott was the lead tech for Steely Dan.
No,
No,
Steely Dan.
was not Steely Dan. No, I'm fucking.
He's still
I'm not
human.
that old, for
He's still...
fuck's sake. Jesus Christ, man.
Cheech and Chunky's a song, oh dear.
Yeah, see, fucking old as fuck me. I'm retired. Actually retired. I occasionally do gigs. Right? Occasionally get pulled out to do a gig here and there, but I really don't go on tour or anything anymore. Finished. Roots down.
End of With Neil and I when you go back and it's like there's the black guy in the bath, yeah. Yes, I have to say that I saw With Neil and I many years ago and kind of quite liked it, and then I saw it not that many years ago.
What's the one that's got the Jaguar that's been made into a... There's another film that's like With Neil and I. Is that With Neil and I where they've got the Jaguar that's extended into a coffin car? Not a coffin car.
They've got they drive a Jaguar, but it's got like a headlight out and there's a bumper missing.
But it's actually been extended to a hearse.
All right.
Yeah, but my mate Pete went and bought a fucking E-type kit car and turned it into a E-type kit car hearse.
All right.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. Crazy bastard.
Yeah.
What else is there? No. What was happening with him in the joint? Was he smoking it or not? Ghostbusters, maybe.
I think you just smoked my joint. That's fine. Done.
No, yours is still there.
Ghostbusters. Did you see the video? We saw an advert for it. The Glasgow Ecto one. The one that was behind me in one of the videos that I did when I was driving at the Barras. I was thinking it was like totally not. They didn't start off with the same kind of car.
Right,
they started off with like a Granada hearse, which is sort of not the same shape as like a Mad 50s cool.
Yeah. I'm going to find out what that film was.
Brewster McLeod.
No,
E-type hearse was in a film called Brewster McLeod from Andy there.
Right, okay.
We got lowriders here. Seen a lowrider ice cream van truth. I don't know what a lowrider
Harold and Maude was the name of the film.
Harold and Maude?
Yeah. It's a black comedy from 1971. And it's a rich kid drives a hearse all around the country. And it's a really good film, actually. You should watch it. Harold and Maude. But my mate went out and bought an E-type Dragon, turned it into a hearse. For some weird reason. Yeah, here we go. Interesting factoid.
Hey, Daniel, any
new guitars?
Well, there's
that one.
I didn't have any before. So we've got a Ibanez. Was it an S77? It was called.
Even more drunk. Still
close enough. S771 PB.
One of those
for the personal best. PB.
No whammy.
No. No, but what you can do is you can pretend it's got a whammy by doing.
Malco's got two guitars to try and I don't know how he's going to do this one. Because this one weighs a lot, and it's because it's full of mud.
It's literally full of mud. Yes.
You can loosen bits of it.
Yes.
But you got to turn that into a working guitar and sell it and make money and see and prove it's all wrong. Somehow. Because the body's still flat. What's the good thing about it?
Well, I mean, what's the action? Is it less than an inch?
Yeah.
No, it's nothing. Yes.
Game on.
Yes. And the green, that has to be a Bucky acoustic, but properly done. If I put a yellow.
There you go. See, Harold Maude right enough. I stand corrected. They bother.
You said it with such confidence, I assumed you were right. But I mean, it's like, that's like,
you need,
but you're right though. It's like,
do you know, if Andy's got any favourite films, I'm going to recommend films because I'm looking for recommendations of films.
I enjoyed that film. What was the one you said? The Dead Man's Shoes. Dead Man's Shoes. I quite enjoyed that. Like a really super low budget one.
Yeah, Dead Man's Shoes. It's a British film from the 90s, isn't it?
2003 or something.
Late 90s, early 2000s. Brilliant, yeah.
Yeah, no, enjoyed that. Yeah.
Vintage guitars are worth. No, they're not worth the current asking price. The one I've got's 1969.
How old of a Strat did you play?
Yeah,
do you really think the vintage guitars are worth the current asking price?
No, they're not worth it. Well, it depends, I suppose. I mean,
Well,
they're worth a premium, right? But they're not worth what they're asking for. They're worth the premium because of the aged nature of the wood and the necks and all of that. They're worth it for that point. But what they're asking for Les Pauls and old Strats and stuff like that's just really stupid, I think. And it's just rich people, you know, it's rock stars with more money than sense that elevate the prices because they can afford to pay it. So people are always going to try and ask for a bit more, and they're always going to pay a bit more.
But if you look at the difference between, like, you know, you're talking about the age thing, you know, it's like this sort of thing that has.
Well, that's what I mean. That's
has that age thing.
Yeah. But if you take it another 20 years, it's another 20 years. I mean, it's another wee tiny bit better. But my 69 Strat it's not any really better than my modern Strat, is it really? I mean, it's nice. It feels nice when you're playing it, but I wouldn't say it's definitely worth the money at all. No, I would buy, if I was going to recommend anybody buy it, I would say it'd be 80s Ibanez's, 80s and 90s Ibanez's made in Japan.
Made in 86 for this
one.
Well,
that's better than any Dan Reed area Strat that you'll ever buy. Really, the neck feel, the body carve, the way the tremolo works. I mean, it's a much better guitar. It really is.
That's awfully good.
And you can get them with the singles if you want to be a Strat guy, total Strat guy. Brilliant guitars. Les Pauls, they are. I don't get it because it's like buying a brand new a Model T4, isn't it? Malco.
No, sorry. I was reading. Malco. It's quite far away.
It's like buying a brand new Model T4, as far as I'm concerned. Buying a brand new, like, one of these, like, R59 Les Pauls. I mean, technology. Yeah, if you try and what you do is pick up a piece.
But buying one from them's different. But buying one that's the same as it but made now, I can see that. I would love to. Part of the joy of this, you know, this is 1986. That's it. So this was about before anything else. It was
that.
So, but this is undeniable. Whereas having it from like the late 50s before the Beatles and shit, I can see that. But having one that's been made to be like that isn't the same as having one from then.
No. Somebody's asked me about the Bumblebee. It's not great, to be honest with you.
I don't like it. I don't like something. It's personal choice.
It's one of those kind of guitars where it's been sold for a look, and it's actually done really well. I mean, the paintwork and stuff and all of that's great, but the neck's not amazing. And the tremolo system that's on it's okay. It's not amazing. The pickup's okay as well. It's just not amazing. It's a really.
You had to change the volume knob as well.
Yeah.
From an Eddie Van Halen to a Yngwie Malmsteen
one because it was. I mean,
no, it was a Yngwie Malmsteen one you put in it.
It's a Malmsteen one I've put in it, but no, it's okay. I would give it probably a 6 out of 10. To be honest with you, as a usable guitar, and I give it a 10 out of 10 as a looking at it. Like,
it looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, because it's on. I mean, I remember buying that album as a kid and looking at that guitar and thinking, "Oh my fucking god, look at that!" And now I've got one. But yeah.
Cage Pops, 80s Ibanez, the V-neck. You've got one of these. Got the see in this range. Yeah. There's the 3 single coils. There's a single humbucker. The HSS. There's also a 2 humbucker one that's got a V-neck. I think it's an RS. Yeah. This is an RG 140. I think it's a one.
Oh look, we're getting movies. Yes, well done.
Breaking
guys.
Away, 1979.
See what we can do is I can have a look at this later on when he's finished the stream and fallen over somewhere.
Yeah, totally. A nice Harley Benton Les Paul for 50 pence. Yeah, JP, get it.
Go and buy it.
I liked your comment on Foxy's guitar channel. not even a fresh comment. I don't want to mind that. Scott's replied to that. It's up here. Harley Benton, bash, great effects.
Steady. No, I'm not for Harley Benton at all.
No, I don't think
This is England. That was really good. It was really harrowing. That
I found it quite difficult.
Difficult to watch that one.
I did watch a bit of it.
Yeah.
It's not. Oh, sorry, no.
God, yeah, some good stuff here.
a great room for Romeo Brass. Once it's been in the
The
Midlands.
Who film McVicker, actually, I have. That was okay.
The sound in that's me
Yeah.
and my pal used to listen to that record. I bought it one time because I thought it was funny and it was in a shiny sleeve.
Yeah.
But it's got some banging tunes in it.
Mhm.
The film's quite good as well, but it's not really a musical. But the soundtrack record's fucking
Yeah.
immense, man.
I'm
The
not a fan of The
psychopath
Who,
never takes a bath because you wash away his hate.
yeah, I'm not a fan of The Who, though, to be honest with you.
It's totally.
That's where our roads go like that. He likes The Who, and I'm just like...
Van Halen liked the Who though. I keep seeing the Who mentioned with Van Halen all the time.
No, I don't know.
So that was his favourite. Oh, he wanted to be all.
They're a great bass player, I'm not going to deny that. But they also had songs about losing their keys and finding them. They had songs about
But
being
to be
able
fair,
to see
they never put that on an album though.
But they made a song about being able to see for vast distances when we could all stand outside and see fucking stars. You know how far away a star is?
Yeah.
Seriously now.
Yeah.
And he's talking about you can see.
They can see for
lighthouses,
miles and
he can
miles
see.
and miles and miles
Yeah.
and miles
Excellent. Well done.
and miles.
Yeah. Brilliant. Fantastic.
Free me, yes, free me. Da, da, da,
Yeah,
da.
why not?
It's a fucking great. What's what?
not?
I'll have the one with the
Do you know what it is, though?
like the Inca
Do you know what it
float
is?
thing.
Do you know who made actually the perfect thing about it? Do you ever watch Lemmy? He did that song about the crossing the road thing. And he done it in the fancy American thing, and all of a sudden it turned into a massive hit. Those songs that we're talking about are just longer versions of them. I've lost you now, haven't I?
You've totally lost me. You're not talking about Nutbush City Limits because the Lemmy version of
the
Nutbush
Lemmy-
City
do you
Limits
know
is
this-
fucking hilarious.
The red Ibanez at RG you have with a single humbucker. Which one? What's the red Ibanez RG you have with a single humbucker?
This one,
Oh no, that's his.
yeah. Oh, it's
I've
got
got
like
them.
it's got two. They just don't have poles on them. It's got two. It's an HSAs, yes, but yeah, it's an RG 140. It's called.
It's a lovely
45.
guitar.
140.
Is there one without a trem somewhere?
There is, but it's the one that Cage Pat has. Bang.
Right, okay.
He's got the 200, which is fixed trem. But this trem's not like a normal trem.
One way down a one-way
It's good.
street, yeah.
One
yeah.
way down it. Yes, I remember that.
Lots of those songs are like that. aren't
That
they?
and they go
And
into
they've got-
Yoker
That's
thing.
just the same as the Who. The only thing is the Who's managed to get them longer.
Yeah.
They just sound good until you actually listen to them. You think, what's he singing about? He can't find his keys, but he can. What?
He looked under chairs, he looked under tables.
Everywhere, yeah.
He looked absolutely everywhere.
But it's the funny thing is that he lost his keys for so long and then nominates himself to call himself the Seeker.
Wrong way down a one-way street, yeah.
That's the Who, and that's him talking about the Who, I think, being able to do songs like that. And people
I don't know if Lemmy was as deep as that, but possibly, yeah.
Yeah. The Who. It's maybe because I was a rocker, not a mod. I don't know what. But I was a mod. I was the Beatles guy. I was, what do they call it? A mocker. I just mocked everybody. Daft bastard.
I like the Who. The Who, whatever you call it, greatest hits. What was the one? The first one I had on tape was great. Who's better? Who's best?
I was listening to Van Halen at that time, though. We're talking about Van Halen here. I had Van Halen 1 by the time he's listening to the Who.
Van Halen is just a taxi company that runs people
Can you
carriers.
imagine put a young kid that's a guitarist, put on a Who record, put on Van Halen 1?
I bought
Go
Van
away.
Halen 1 thinking that everyone says this is great.
Multicolour
Let's
strat
listen
on
to
the
it. I
left
like it.
is that an Ibanez? It's an Ibanez Blazer, isn't it? The multicoloured one. Yeah, that's a Blazer. From when?
It might
Be careful now.
sober me up. picking one up.
Be careful now. Yeah, that's a Blazer from the 80s. Yeah. And again, these are amazing if you can get a hold of them. The thing is because of people like Paul Gilbert playing them, they've pushed the prices of them up a bit. So they're starting to get into the prices of low-level vintage guitars. So snap them up if you can.
Everything's brass on this bridge. The block.
Right, X-Paps, I can remember that film we were just talking about. What was it called again? The British film that I just spoke about, and it's right out of my head.
One Dead Man's
Shoes.
Dead Man's Shoes. It's on.
You get it on the streaming platforms.
You get it on the steel and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, Dead Man's Shoes. What I'll do is I'll actually.
And you two recommend a gritty British film.
Yeah,
it's quite gritty. Yes, it's good though.
It's as gritty as you.
I like it. I like it.
I'm going to make sure it's the right one though that we're talking about.
The really cheap guitars that put your yes.
Yeah,
I know
that's it.
Ones you mean. Aye. I think, to be honest, I don't think that's been the case of anything you buy new.
Yeah.
By a make you've heard of. You're not going to get frets that actually cut you from a
Do you know what I can
negative or a
actually
square.
do here that's quite interesting? Watch this.
Is it going to be something pure
So
technological?
I'm going to do some technology stuff. Maybe.
Ned's 2010.
That's a good film.
Never seen it. I take it everyone's seen Restless Natives. That's my favourite of all this.
Right,
type of
guys,
thing.
there you go. See if that works. See if it comes up. If it
I
allows
recommend,
it. See, I just put up a link.
I recommend all his other ones, yeah, Rages.
That's not letting me put up a link.
No. To be honest, I could probably put you as a moderator if I was.
No, it's okay. Dead Man's Shoes. I'll just write the name of it.
But I did enjoy it, yes, it was good.
Yeah, look it up on, what do you call it? Google. And it's
Is that the old one with Madonna's boyfriend? I know the one you mean.
No. Shane Meadows, This Is England, A Room for Lamp. Yeah. With Madonna's boyfriend. Madonna's boyfriend?
Aye, what's his face? Guy Ritchie.
That's me, look.
It's a bizarre thing when you look at a live stream. You go,
it's
that's
because there's a big gap. Look, there's a huge gap between the video and the. Yeah, there you go. I'm going to switch that off because it's really confusing.
Yes.
Oh, it's melt my brain.
Freaking me out.
That comment for Stu.
Naked or Secrets and Lies?
Both good. Yeah.
I don't know.
The old one, Madonna's boyfriend. It's what's the name of the actor? Paddy Considine. Paddy Considine's the name of the actor. That's the lead actor in it. He's brilliant. I was watching it the other night. Old Trent Henry was another one. It's not British or gritty, but that was a really good film. Old Henry, yeah. Yeah, it's like an old guy who owns a farm, and it turns out that he's actually Billy the Kid, and he's a fucking badass bastard that shoots everybody in the film. It's one of those.
I think I may have actually seen it.
Yeah, Old Henry.
Yeah,
Considine, that's it. Paddy Considine.
What was that one we watched? It was actually surprisingly good. Plane. It was terrible and good.
Plane.
Like, what's his face? The Scottish guy who wanted to be shot and he got shot. So we were both happy.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, I can't remember the name of the film right now.
Plane,
yeah. I can't remember the film right now. I'm trying to remember it.
It was terrible.
Yeah. And
you said, I hope he gets shot, and he did. You're like, yeah.
I know the actor we're talking about. Gerard Butler, yeah. Yes. He's a dick. He's a dick. We don't like Gerard Butler in Scotland because he's a dick. Well, it turned out he was sneaking off and doing these charity gigs for the Israeli Defense Fund, which is really not a nice bunch of people at all. But he was away doing fundraisers and stuff like that for them in Israel and whatnot on the fly in between all his movies, which was a bit naughty. So when they found out in Scotland, but like that, did you now? You can just fuck off. You've lost your Scottish passport, mate. Yeah.
Just a Boys Game. Never heard it.
Just a Boys Game. Good Scottish film. What was that one? The Angels Share. Have you seen that one?
Don't think so.
About the wee boys who find the whiskey in Greenock. And it's an amazing film. Have you not seen that?
No.
They call it the Angel Share or whatever. Whenever you find whiskey, you keep a bit for yourself. Dog Soldiers, now that's a fucking great film.
I haven't seen that in years. I remember it coming out in DVD, but yeah. That's got one of the guys from Chainspot in it. I remember that. And I remember it. I remember the bit where he's getting attacked, being super, super, super realistic. Because he's just going, oh, fuck off it, oh, fuck off it, oh, fuck off it, oh, fucking Jesus, fucking. Which is the way you would talk if you were actually getting eaten.
Yeah.
You're not going to be pure. Oh. Stop that! You're going to be pure. Oh no! You're fucking.
Me, yeah, Dog Soldiers. That was great. I really enjoyed that. I like a good werewolf.
Maybe. Need to watch it again. That was one of those movies that came out just at the start of
Ken Loach. That's right. It's a Ken Loach film. It's a brilliant film. I recommend that one. That's funny though. It's not so gritty. Well, I suppose it is a bit gritty.
It is.
But it's talking. It's life in Greenock, which is quite interesting. Greenock's a mad place in Scotland.
It was a bit of happiness. Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Sweet 16, that was okay as well, wasn't it? What was the other one that they set in Pollock? Was it they set it? It was Ned's, I think they called it Ned's.
Someone mentioned Ned's a minute ago.
Yeah, well, that was an okay film as well, which was all based around where I kind of grew up, really, between Govan and Pollock. And it was kind of realistic.
Hey, okay. Yeah,
it's a bit gritty. Yeah.
It's a BL, whatever it is, 350.
What's that?
450.
Oh, that, yeah.
Yoakum was the one who's just He's got the one I wanted.
Yeah, they normally come in a solid colour. They don't usually come looking like that at all.
No, but this is the one that doesn't have tap pickups. The one that I had, remember the candy apple red one I had off Tony that he wouldn't sell me? It had the tap pickups, and it was candy apple red, but there's a candy apple turquoisey colour. Dick's got that's like
Green up, yeah.
Not green up, no. He's a. I think
yeah, it was a brilliant film. Yeah, one of my friends, my pal Ronnie, was in that film. He played the priest that took the confessions in that film. The Debt Collector, yeah.
Small Faces. I remember someone talking about
it. It's a good
I know someone who's in that. I've never seen it.
BL505 is.
What's the one set in the? It's like, I'm gonna have to go up and get that. I was bought an 80s RG with the coloured pickups. Forgotten what the series was. We were watching. What was that one we watched the other night on Friday night? An RG4 something. What was that? Remember we watched it. You were counting it down. We were both sitting like that.
Oh God, yeah, that was the neck through one, and it was.
I was sitting at 300 quid.
Yeah.
Well, that period was going to be hundreds of bids in the last second, and it went for like 301 pounds.
301 quid. I was kidding on saying I was going to put one. I was going to put a 305 one, and just fucking wish I had. No more bids, but I might have had a snipe sitting there waiting to outbid. I don't know.
Hey Mindy, well we've got you mentioned me last week.
Hi Mindy.
So a Joe Walsh request then. I don't know if I know that much Joe Walsh. The smoker, the junkie player you get. That is a Joe Walsh thing.
He's defying gravity at the moment. He's had a full bottle of Buckfast.
Yes.
And he's
on nearly a whole can of Red Bull.
And I herbally refreshed him about half an hour ago. Yeah, I'm not going to ask you to play anything, are we? That's a lovely guitar though. Paper Moon, that's a brilliant film. Acid House, oh my God!
I found that. I remember seeing that.
That's a fucking great film, but it's more disturbing than harrowing. Yeah. The way it starts, that film, the Acid House, is just bizarre. You have to watch the start of that film, and then that you're in. That's what's going to happen. Yeah,
it was a bit mental.
And Martin Clunes is in it, which is the weird thing at the beginning. As the bank manager and his wife, and the baby gets taken over by the spirit of a Glaswegian or an Edinburgh Ned. The baby turns out to be an absolute fucking nut
again. I remember not understanding it or
so disturbing
at one time. Yeah,
no,
I remember there was a fly going into a curry and getting like salmonella and putting it. I remember that's
and it goes to a flat in Edinburgh. And, oh no, it's disgusting. It's a mad film of the Acid House.
Dead Man Walking. I don't know. Billy Connolly played a roadie to a bunch of old rockers. That was
brilliant,
Jeff. That was bastard. Still famous,
yeah. What was the name of the band?
They were called Strange Fruit. And it was Bill Nye was the singer. Yeah. Yes, that's a great film.
What was the other one?
Scream Freedom. I can't remember it. There's about 6 songs on it that I would be able to play if I just.
I watched a great film with my kids last week. It was called. What was it called? The one about the boots. Kinky Boots. Watch that one. That's a gritty British film. Yeah, it's about. I'll not. No spoilers. Kinky Boots. Yeah, watch that one. That's a surprise. You don't watch it tonight, right? But the music in Kinky Boots is absolutely amazing, and the film itself is pretty bloody good.
Big Man with Billy Connolly and Liam Neeson.
Do you know that was a great film? Big Man, that really was. That was pretty good. Really violent, though, and that was all about Jimmy Boyle, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Who was a Glasgow harp man, the Glasgow Underwear. This is good. We're getting so many different films here. I'm going to.
I actually don't know any of these.
I'm going through this later.
Well, that's the thing. It's like just there's so many bits I don't really know about
Big
cinema.
Man is a great film. That's one of those films that you kind of put on in the background when I'm fixing guitars because you can tune in and out of it. Watch people getting their heads kicked in Glasgow style. Oh, proper shoeing.
Breaking the Waves is an interesting movie. Pretty grim pseudo dogma stuff. Yeah. Oh, good. Gillian Murphy. No idea.
Killing who? To Kill a Mockingbird. Well, I remember I took a girl out on a date and we went to the theatre and we went and saw, what was it again? A play? Something Nights. And I thought it was going to be all romantic and there was a 15-minute rape scene in the middle of it all. And we had front row. It was in the what do you call that one in the bars? The theatre there? Tron. And it's like really, you're sitting with the actors basically. So I'm sitting with my girlfriend, and this girl's getting. It was horrible. It was so realistic. It was dreadful, and it went on and on and on and on, and I just kept disappearing deeper and deeper into this hole in the ground. I'm not getting sex ever again from this person. It was terrible. What was the name of that thing again? Fucking hell, man! Just in case I need to go and see it. I can't remember right now, but it will come to me. My God. I mean, it started and I was like, fuck, Jesus Christ, but oh my God, 15 minutes later, we're both dying. Couldn't look at each other for the rest of the night. What was the film called again? Something Nights. Some bird name in Nights. I can't remember.
Worst live music experience?
Worst live music experience? Oh, fuck, I've had so many terrible ones.
I'll just go for playing Hamish's house on Paisley Main Street with Jesse. When there wasn't anybody there, and there was a girl who kept coming up and asking for Guns N' Roses songs and asking Jesse to take his helmet off.
I know, I've had lots of terrible ones. There's so many bad ones. Unfortunately, they probably outweigh the good ones. Yeah, when you do tour and stuff with bands, some bands are fucking terrible, by the way. They really are awful.
Exactly, you weren't in the band.
Awful people.
When you're in the band, it's worse. Yeah. you got to take the blame, man.
What? I know, fucking fly. What? Sit for how long? Now, people think it's really exciting going on tour, but is it fuck? People say, oh, what was Bulgaria like? I have no fucking idea. What was this place like? I don't know.
A petrol station.
Hamish's house is an assault and punctuation.
Hamish's house is an assault and punctuation. That was a bizarre gig.
There were so many bad ones, yeah.
They Live. I honestly didn't see They Live until relatively recently. It was only a couple of years ago. I never saw that when I was kid. I thought it was quite...
It's quite good, funny.
I enjoyed it, yeah. I didn't know who anyone was. It's one of those films like, why have I never seen this before? And I was kind of, all the way through it, I was just wanting to watch it and go, it's obviously going to have to get pure shit, which is why I've never heard of it before. And then I started recognising bits from The Simpsons and stuff. Oh, mentioned.
Worst live music experience, though. I don't know. I've had so many bad ones. I really have that I couldn't narrow it down to a particularly awful one. But Isle of Wight Festival one year got absolutely turned upside down, and I was in the back of a van that was attempting to be rolled over, but they couldn't do it because it was full of PA and me. PA used to be really, really fucking heavy back in the day, but yeah, Isle of Wight Festival, that was a bad one. Skinheads at once all went mental and trashed the place. Don't know how to get killed though, did they?
Might not having too much to drink. There you go. Not being part of the actual crew.
There's a guy from my work that appears in the Angel Share. It's a brilliant film, that Angel Share. I forgot all about it. That's one I'll have to dig out again. I like to watch that. Definitely like to watch that one. What time of it?
We're nearly at midnight. That's when I normally puke and go to bed.
Oh my God, I need to stand up because this chair's really uncomfortable in the arse.
Super bad. I'm sitting on
You've given up. Look, I've never seen you sit down. I've never seen you sit down for a live stream.
No, I don't play the guitar sitting down, man. It's like, that's for weaklings.
You need to do a song, man. That's what you need to do.
Blazing Saddles with bass.
Blazing Saddles, just go for it. Blazing Saddles, because he has been blazing.
I'm pure blazing, man.
He has been blazing. We should blaze some more and then do Blazing Saddles. That's what we should do, right, guys? I do want to vote for that one.
Having enough blazing.
Spike the likes if you want.
Less blazing, more saddles.
You need a saddle, not to blaze. Try side saddles when you crush it, right? Jesus,
I'm too drunk to play the guitar, especially when
I'm going Blazing Saddles. Go. I'm joking.
Definitely got enough, mate.
Can you keep to this? The gritty British? Do a gritty British one. What's gritty and British in a song?
What's gritty and British?
Yeah, no Oasis.
I know,
Spell something.
I know, but it's like it's totally not gritty, but I know that it's the sort of thing that would be described as gritty and British.
I'm liable to throw my lemonade in Oasis. Snatch. Do you like dags? Do you like dags?
Dags.
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 Somebody said snatch.
Dags.
Great film. Do you like that? I love dags.
I can't remember.
No.
Jinx, I hope you've recovered before next Saturday. Yes. No, there's no way I'm going to be able to play. I think I'm going to end it. It's midnight, so it's fine. But thanks, everyone. This is it. I've been too drunk to stand up for. I got too. When you turned up, I started drinking my Bucky just too quickly. Oh man. So thanks, everyone. And thanks.
You're still going.
Thanks, special surprise guest Scott.
Don't forget to spike the likes.
And spike the likes and yeah,
and think of any other movies.
Yeah.
Dags. Hold on, somebody's asking about Dags. Dags, that film Snatch. Watch that film Snatch. It's really funny.
Have you watched The Gentleman?
Brad Pitt playing a gypsy, and he does it so well, the accent and stuff like that.
Oh, I've heard
about the boxing. Class film, actually.
Yeah, mental.
Yeah. Nice to see you, by the way.
Rocking and
totally
unexpected, but there you go. Catch you later. In stream.